Afternoon, welcome to Goodison Park, 17th hosting 10th in the Premier League after mixed fortunes for these two teams midweek. Chelsea went down by 2-1 at Old Trafford, while Everton moved back out of the relegation zone following their excellent win here against Newcastle. Everton looking to win 3 games in a row for the first time this season and for the first time under Sean Dyche. Chelsea have won just 1 of their last 4 and have lost their last 2 away from home at Manchester United and at Newcastle. Sam Ricketts, former Wales international, former Wolves, Bolton, Swansea Hull defender, is alongside me, Lee Blakeman, here in the main stand. That is one long CV, Sam. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I never really thought I'd play for too many clubs. Then you start listening and we think, well, actually, everyone must kept selling me, get rid of me all the time, so I have to find a new club every 2 or 3 years.
When I was going down your soccer base page earlier, it was like, who shall I sub out and which clubs shall I leave in? We've had a bit of a late reshuffle as well, so Sam's joined us late, but still looking forward to this one, mate. What a place. You played here before. There's the siren, the 2 teams about to come out. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, great place to play. One of my favourite places to play, like I said, in the atmosphere. The fans are really close to you. The music before the games, you can just hear starting up behind us now. Yeah, just a real special place. My first time here as a non-player, as a supporter, so really looking forward to being here today, experience the atmosphere and hopefully a good game as well.
The siren, followed by Z cars and followed by the roar as the 2 teams take to the field here at Goodison Park. Everton making 1 change from the side that beat Newcastle here on Thursday. Club captain Shaman Coleman is injured. James Garner comes in, which means Ashley Young is going to move to right back. Garner will slot into the midfield. The thing with Seamus Coleman is, as well as missing what he brings to a side physically, you miss his personality out on the pitch too, somebody like that.
Yeah, you do. You know, the supporters absolutely love him here. I think I was listening to something on the radio on the way in saying that on average he worked out his transfer fee at £4,000 per season. The length of time he's been at Everton, he embodies the club, the supporters. There's a real connection between him and the supporters, and like you said, it's not just him as a player, but it's him as a leader, which the team flourished from in midweek. He's only good for 60 minutes midweek and obviously out today. So you look at the likes of Ashley Young still in the team. I think he's cost the team a few times this season, but is he bringing a lot, not just the playing but that mentality which Seamus would have and leadership skills, so he feels in at right back today.
The boos that you could hear for the Premier League anthem, there were those huge protests in the last game before the last one before the last one, if you're with me, against Manchester United. There was the card protests. I was here for that. So they've just played the Premier League anthem. We've got banners still against the Premier League away to our left in the Gladys Street end. So that's what all the booing was about. Chelsea coming into this game off the back of that 2-1 defeat at Manchester United on Wednesday. They've made 4 changes. Thiago Silva, Levi Colwill, Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson all dropped to the bench. Getting starts today, Badia Shield, Reece James who wears the captain's armband, Armando Broja up top, and Conor Gallagher who returns from suspension following his sending off against Brighton 7 days ago. Thiago Silva, that is just basically, they've hinted at it on the club social media as well, that's just about rotating and keeping him fit because he's 39 years of age.
He does well to be playing at 39, let alone 2-3 games a week, so he's been a phenomenal player, and I think probably there's just been a few occasions this season that he's been caught out, mistake on the ball, has led to a few goals, especially in the Newcastle game, so they've taken the opportunity to rest him and bring in, listen, they've got that many players and that many young players that they need to play as well.
So the way we're expecting them to line up today, Jordan Pickford in goal, passed a late fitness test having picked up a knock against Newcastle on Thursday. A back 4 of Ashley Young, James Tarkowski, Jared Branthwaite and Vitaly Mikalenko. A 2 in midfield of James Garner and Abdoulaye Doucouré. Then a 3 of Idrissa Gana Gueye, Jack Harrison and Dwight McNeil before the main striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin leads the line. He could have had a hat-trick. I don't know if you saw the game on Thursday night. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on another day.
Yeah, and he's such a pivotal player for Everton. If you look back over the last 2 or 3 seasons, when he plays well, Everton get results. So it's actually really encouraging for Everton that he didn't score midweek and yet they've still won the game. I'm sure he'll be eager to not just to be playing and then get back into a rhythm of playing because he's been blighted by injuries. But if they could get him firing amongst the goals as well, they're on a good run, but they'll make him an even better run.
Chelsea in their green away kit, which is actually described officially online as Eton Blue. That is green all day long. Eton Blue
horrible
is the most
green as well, isn't it? It's not a nice one.
Eton Blue is the most middle-class kit colour I think I've ever heard of in my life. Chelsea go with Robert Sanchez in goal. He's wearing bright yellow. It's as yellow as you can get. I'll run through the outfield players in just a second. Michael Oliver is the referee. Everton through James Garner get us started. Everton against Chelsea, one of 3 games kicking off at 2 in the Premier League this afternoon. Live here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. Sam Ricketts, former Wales international, and myself, Lee Blakeman, your commentary team. As Everton come down the right straight away with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, rolls the ball back, and Everton go back into their own half. So Chelsea with a back 4 of Reece James, Axel Disasi, Benoit Badiashile, as the ball played long by Everton carries all the way through to Robert Sanchez. Mark Cucurella completes the back 4. Then it's Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. A 3 of Cole Palmer, who scored that goal at Old Trafford on his return to Manchester on Wednesday. Conor Gallagher and Mykhailo Mudryk behind the main striker today, Armando Broja. Everton down the right with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Here they come, pushing forwards with Jack Harrison. Ball goes out for an Everton throw by the corner flag. We've had 1 minute, Sam, and Everton have started really brightly here. Yep.
I think Everton, what they're trying to do is, it's become a siege mentality, hasn't it? I think Everton have always had great support, but I think it's just probably united the club a little bit fractious of reasons for over the last 6 to 12 months or so. But I think the penalty, the points penalty has really galvanised everyone. So what Everton need to do is keep a tempo in the game, especially early on, to keep that atmosphere in the stadium. Don't let it subdue. Chelsea on the opposite hand will be trying to pass the ball slowly and actually take the sting out of the game. Everton play forward. They'll play forward nearly every time, not backwards or sideways. They'll try and play forward and put Chelsea under pressure.
Chelsea have the ball inside their own half at the moment, facing their own goal. Moises Caicedo moves it to the left. Benoit Badiashile keeps it moving. Cucurella over on the far side. Chelsea just getting a feel of things. If you're looking for the other games, Luton against Manchester City is over on 5 Live with Nathan Jones and Alistair Bruce Ball, and you can listen to full commentary of Fulham West Ham online this afternoon via the BBC Sport website and the BBC Sport app if you've got that downloaded on your smartphone or tablet. Later, Tottenham against Newcastle's the 4:30 game on 5 Live in the World Service with Pat Nevin and John Murray. Here the ball's back with Jordan Pickford, who I mentioned a few moments ago was a bit of a doubt for this game following that knock on Thursday night. Couple of early touches with his feet, and the ball's back with him again. He's being closed down a little bit by Enzo Fernandez, but we'll deal with the pressure fine and we'll clear high towards halfway. Good flicked header by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Decore gets on the end of it, edge of the penalty area left side. Good tracking back that time by Benoit Badiashile, coming back into the side as one of 4 changes made by Mauricio Pochettino, and that was good tracking back and good bright alert defending.
Yeah, you're just talking about Jordan Pickford, and a bit like Seamus Coleman, he's not just as a player, also he's a very, very good goalkeeper, but I think his leadership that he brings to the team, he brings a lot of character to the team. To the team, he's sometimes a bit of a pantomime villain. He plays up with the supporters, and he certainly helps get some atmosphere in the game, which is unusual for a goalkeeper.
Chelsea on the attack, down the centre. Cole Palmer moves it to the left. Mudryk into the area, does well, beats his man. Everton get back in their numbers, rolls it to the edge of the area. Fernandez with a shot, good save by Pickford, and then Fernandez puts the rebound over. Good early save by Pickford. Offside flag's gone up very late anyway, but the Everton goalkeeper didn't know that, because that was a good shot from the edge of the box from Fernandez, and it needed saving.
Yeah, tough start for the game there. Ashley Young got exposed 1v1 versus Mudryk, and Mudryk, for all his faults that we've seen this year, but you can't take his pace away from him, and he literally just put the afterburners on, ran round Ashley Cole. Very little he could do. He has to be very careful not to give penalty away, and it's something Everton need to be careful of that in that 1v1 situation. We
were wondering how he'd get on at right back, moving there to cover for Seamus Coleman. Ashley Young, he was done for pace quite easily by Mykhailo Mudryk. Everton go long here. Calvert-Lewin giving chase. It's a dodgy back pass, and the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez does well there to prevent that going behind for the first Everton corner of the game. Chelsea at 6s and 7s.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Everton, they're trying to put pressure on Chelsea. They want to keep the atmosphere up high tempo as well, and any time the ball goes back to the Chelsea centre halves, they get impressed.
Full time in the SPL. What a scoreline this is. Kilmarnock 2, Celtic 1. It is finished there now, 2 in Kilmarnock. Everton down the right with Jack Harrison. He's got Ashley Young in support. Was he fouled there by Mark Cucurella? No, says referee Michael Oliver. Chelsea come away with it into the centre circle, but Mikaleko wins it back for Everton. We've had 4.5 minutes already. Everton 0, Chelsea 0 here on 5 Sports Extra. Ball back out right with Harrison. Cross doesn't quite find Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It'll be scrambled clear, and Conor Gallagher will dribble the ball downfield for Chelsea, making his 50th appearance for the football club this afternoon. Mudryk has it over on the left, but it was his pace that caused the biggest chance of the game so far, Mykhailo Mudryk.
Yep, like I said, so two sides. Chelsea need to try and exploit that, and Everton need to try and help Ashley Young. So whether it be Jack Harrison on that side, come back and double up a little bit and help her out, or one of the midfielders coming over, but someone has to go and help Ashley Young out when he is in those 1v1 situations. Having said all that, he recovered really well actually and forced Mudryk to turn back on himself.
Conor Gallagher back in the side following his suspension for those 2 yellow cards 7 days ago. Missed the trip to Old Trafford. Chelsea played well in parts in that game. It was an excellent watch. Here comes Mudryk again. He's beaten Young again. Takes it to the edge of the area. Sends it an early cross. Looking for Cole Palmer, just headed away from him. Ball reaches the edge of the area still. Everton haven't dealt with this. Eventually they do. And it'll be hoofed downfield. Everton keep it in the midfield this time with Harrison outnumbered by Mudryk and Cucurella, and Gallagher picks up the ball for Chelsea, level with the edge of the centre circle in that mint green away kit. Cucurella you can't miss over on the far side, but we've already seen a real problem for Everton. Young again done by the pace of Mudryk.
Yeah, Chelsea just trying to get a bit of consolidated possession in the Everton half for the first time. Trying to get all the touch of the ball. The two contrasting styles. Chelsea a slow build up, passing the ball centre back back to the goalkeeper. Managers both patrolling the edge of their technical area at the moment. Sean Dyche just in conversation with one of his assistants, Mauricio Pochettino, wearing all black. He's donning the black baseball cap too this afternoon, just right down below where we are here in the main stand. Everton have it with Idrissa Gana Gueye in the midfield. Forwards he goes. Garner moves it to the right. Nice move. Harrison with the first time cross, too far ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, goes all the way through. McNeil will do well to keep that in. Eventually it goes behind. Who did it come off last, McNeil or James? It's going to be a goal kick. McNeil's gone down, should be just fine. A little bit of a coming together with James, but again, moving down the Everton right, they look really bright. Yeah, they do indeed. Good play in the middle of the park first of all, taking the ball under pressure, little 1-2. End up with Garner, who fed Harrison. Great first time cross with his right foot. Obviously a player we know very well for his left foot, but first time cross, unfortunately Dominic Calvert-Lewin just couldn't quite get there, too far in front of him. In the WSL, 58,000 inside the Emirates to watch this game. WSL record, and Arsenal lead Chelsea by 4-1 now. Alessia Russo has just scored from the penalty spot. Here come Everton down the left, edge of the area. Doucouré to the byline, crossed in towards the near post. It wasn't the best cross, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin was waiting to pounce, and that's why Robert Sanchez had to be alert and smother it. Yeah, clear tactics by Everton. Get the ball wide, cross the ball. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, can they get a midfielder in there to join in, opposite wide player as well? A few more bodies in there, but they're growing in confidence. I was with Paul Robinson for the Manchester United-Chelsea game on 5 Sports Extra on Wednesday, and we basically spent the first half just talking about how great the game was, because it was being played at a great pace, and this is started in a similar way. Enzo Fernandez comes driving down the centre now for Chelsea to Mudryk down the left, edge of the area. Fernandez will pick the ball up, takes it to the byline. He's got Young for company, works it onto his right foot here. Enzo Fernandez scored twice against Brighton 7 days ago. Cross is going to be sent in from the left. Chelsea hesitate. Back it goes to Cucurella in front of the section where the travelling Chelsea fans are. Cross sent in. Branthwaite can't take any chances and heads the ball over for the first corner of the game. 8 minutes in, it's gone Chelsea's way. Yeah, good bit of play by Chelsea, passing the ball, building their way up through the field, and whereas they take 3, 4, 5 touches and then decide to cross the ball, opposite to Everton, like I said, Everton crossed the ball very, very quickly. Chelsea just trying to be a little bit more build-up. With Mudryk, though, he just doesn't need to complicate his game. If you're that quick, he's already gone round Ashley Young, he's already gone round Tarkowski. Every time he gets the ball, why do anything other than just knock the ball 20, 30 yards and run after it? It's going to be Mudryk to send in the corner from the Chelsea right, 9th minute, in it goes towards the penalty spot, headed towards goal and over the crossbar that time by Benoit Badiashile. Is he someone who would frustrate you, Mykhailo Mudryk, given the ability that we know he has and the positions that he gets in, doesn't always make the most of them? Yeah, it's such a funny thing in football. Every player wants to be quick, everyone, but then when you get someone who is really quick, they feel like a little bit embarrassed to use it. Oh, I can't just knock the ball, I need to do a trick. You know, it's a bit I can't quite think of it, but they feel like it's a bit degrading that you can only knock it past someone and run past someone. I need to do tricks. You don't at all. If you're quicker than someone, knock it and run. The best example I've ever seen and used over the years is Gareth Bale when he was at his prime at Tottenham, would literally knock the ball 20-30 yards and just run round players.
Cucurella has just been penalised for a foul on Dominic Calvert-Lewin as Everton came down their right. This is going to be a free kick to Everton about 5 yards from the corner flag over on the far side, and this is a real opportunity to pile pressure onto Robert Sanchez, who had a mixed game at Old Trafford on Wednesday, made good saves 1 minute but then looked very, very questionable the next. It's going to be sent in by Dwight McNeil for Everton, not too far away from the corner flag at all. Big opportunity this now, an opportunity to send people forwards from the back. McNeil with both hands in the air, sends it in, it's deep towards the back post. Goalkeeper Sanchez comes, gets something on it, and something was enough there because Tarkowski was waiting to head in at the back post. Did just about enough there, Sanchez.
He did indeed. If you're going to look at big threats, and Everton set pieces are going to be a big threat for them. Good delivery, Tarkowski attacking the ball, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it was good delivery into a good area.
Mikalenko tries to play the ball onto McNeil down the Everton left this time. Pass back towards Sanchez. He lets the ball roll onto his goal line with Calvert-Lewin closing in. He was the coolest man inside Goodison Park there because it looked like he just lost his bearings, but he was very, very calm. Down the other end, here come Chelsea. That's going to be a foul given against Armando Broja. Free kick Everton inside their own half. Sam?
Yeah, going back to Robert Sanchez, a player I know actually really, really well. I've followed him for probably 3 or 4 years now. He's such an enigmatic goalkeeper that he actually firmly believes he's the best. Listen, at Brighton 4 years ago, he thought he was the best keeper there when he was out on loan at Rochdale. I spoke to him a few times about signing him, but he honestly believes he's going to be one of the best in the world. And at times he is, and then at other times he'll do things and just make huge errors, costing goals. Started all 19 of Chelsea's games in all competitions this season. Robert Sanchez, having joined from Brighton in the summer for a fee in the region of £25 million. Ball goes out for a throw-in on the Everton right, level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area, to be taken by Ashley Young, as we've highlighted a couple of times, has been done for pace by Mykhailo Mudryk. Everton on the attack here though. He receives the ball back from Harrison. Young in field to Calvert-Lewin. Harrison again looking for some support, goes forwards. Decore back to goal, tries to play in Harrison on the turn, well read and intercepted by Chelsea, but here come Everton again. Idris Agana to the byline, low ball in, the angle was against him. He did well to keep the ball in play actually there, Idris Agana. Chelsea deal with it though and clear it long towards the halfway line. Vitaly Mikalenko backtracking, goes back to Pickford, who's being closed down by Palmer. Two of the coolest goalkeepers I've seen in some time when it comes to the ball at their feet here, because Pickford was being closed down quickly there by Palmer. Did well though. Everton have it and now they're on the attack. Decore to McNeil, Mikalenko down the left. Reece James solid defending, back in the starting 11 today. Reece James wearing shirt number 24 and the captain's armband, just exactly what you wanted in that situation. Yeah, excellent defending. Actually looked like Mikalenko was going to get there, but it's used his body very well. Going back to the goalkeepers, they're calmer on the ball than a couple of the centre-halves playing today. Very much so. Jordan Pickford in the Everton goal wearing all green. Ball's gone behind for a goal kick to Chelsea to be taken by Robert Sanchez, who takes it and the ball doesn't even go out of his 6 yards area. They were insistent on playing this way at Old Trafford the other night and it caused them all kinds of problems all night. Is that a foul by Branthwaite on Broja? Yes, but Michael Olives played the advantage. Broja moves into the area right side. Branthwaite brilliant, absolutely superb, stuck at the task, stayed with his man, timed his tackle to perfection, because if he didn't it would have been a penalty. Chelsea have a second corner. Yeah, he's had a good season, Braithwaite. It's a breakthrough season this year. What he showed there was his determination just not to give up. He kept chasing and harrying and in the end got back in there. You have to be so careful when you get in the box nowadays. But he did it, he timed it very, very well, used his arm, used his body, and then his long left leg to get the ball out for a corner. 21 years of age, playing with the maturity of someone who's 31 years of age, a regular starter this season, having had successful loans at PSV and Blackburn. Chelsea with a short corner here, taken by Mudryk, back to Palmer, who tries one from distance. It was on target, it needed saving as well. Pickford flying to his right, kept it out. It falls for Decore in the right back area. His clearance is poor, falls for Reece James. Mudryk can't make it stick. Everton have a free kick, but Cole Palmer out of nowhere tried his luck there and very nearly scored in spectacular fashion. What a strike. Honestly, 30 yards out, 35 yards out, not underestimating that at all. and a great flying save for Pickford on his right hand side.
And it was destined for the top corner. We're just having a look at the replays here. Hit it beautifully with his left foot. Pickford flew across, watched it because it was moving in the air, got two hands on it, which was just as well.
Yeah, good save, good strike. You'd be disappointed if you did get beat from there, but it was that good a strike that every so often the ball moves in the air. Keepers struggle with those ones, but he got two hands on it and pushed it away.
Quarter of an hour played. Everton 0, Chelsea 0 here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. Earlier, Kilmarnock beating Celtic by 2-1. Luton 0, Manchester City 0 over on 5 Live. And the other game this afternoon, Fulham against West Ham, is available on the BBC Sport website and app. Free kick awarded to Chelsea for a foul in the midfield. They take it quick. Chelsea in a hurry here with Enzo Fernandez, gets his pockets picked, but Chelsea recover the situation. Fernandez again goes charging down the centre. That's going to be a foul given against Idris Gana-Gueye, and a yellow card. That's for persistent fouling.
It is. 5 years ago, that's a great tackle. Nowadays you're not allowed to do it. He got the ball, but it was from behind and half like scissored. It wasn't a dangerous tackle by any means. As a football fan, you like to see those tackles. There was no danger for Enzo Fernandez in the tackle. It wasn't a dangerous one. It was from behind, but he did get the ball.
And I make that Idris Gana-Gueye's 5th yellow card following his booking against Newcastle here on Thursday. So that means he will miss the trip to Burnley next Saturday afternoon. It's the tea time game, a 5:30 kickoff, but I make that his 5th Premier League yellow card of the season. So a 1-match ban pending now for Idris Gana-Gueye. Ball with Chelsea, with Badiashile in the centre circle. Long, high, raking pass, looking for Reece James down the right, intercepted well by McNeil. Chelsea throw, which, as ever, they take quickly, keen to keep the game moving and ticking over. That looked like a bit of a foul throw that time from Reece James. It was right on the edge, and I think there were murmurings amongst the crowd too. Chelsea go back into their own half with Cucurella. Now Mudryk, who's had a lively opening 16, loses it. Everton win it in the midfield. Calvert-Lewin into the area right side. Support arrives from Idris Gana-Gueye, chips the ball in with his left foot, headed away by Chelsea to the edge of the area, picked up by McNeil on the edge, sends it a good left-footed cross towards the back post. Can it be kept in by Harrison? No, his first touch was too heavy. But once again, when they come charging out of the midfield, especially down the right but also on the left, Everton look like they're causing Chelsea all kinds of problems.
Yeah, indeed. And even though that cross didn't come to anything, at the end Harrison tried to control it at the back post, goes out for a goal kick, but the supporters are so up for the players and so up to support them that even that gets a round of applause. There's no ooh-win or could have done better, just that's a round of applause. Well done, keep going, go again.
Chelsea have taken the goal kick but still have the ball inside their own penalty area and then lose it inside their own half. I mean, must drive Chelsea supporters absolutely crazy sometimes. They've won it back this time though. Fernandez to the left to Mudryk. 4-on-4 here as Chelsea come charging forward. Mudryk in from the left to the edge of the box, worked it onto his right. Good interception by, it was Mikalenko covering over there, and now Everton come away with the ball, getting it up towards Calvert-Lewin on the halfway line. Plays the 1-2 with Harrison, nearly ran out of space, did well to keep the ball in play in the first place. But in the end, it goes straight back to Marc Cucurella, and Chelsea will build again. Everton 0, Chelsea 0, 17 on the clock here on 5 Sports Extra, live from Goodison Park. Everton looking to win 3 games in a row for the first time under Sean Dyche, following that win last Saturday at Nottingham Forest, and then the game that we've mentioned a couple of times already because it was so brilliant against Newcastle here on Thursday, 3-0. Chelsea win it on the halfway line, but Everton have it back. Ball work to McNeil, early ball forwards to Calvert-Lewin. Keeper Sanchez beat him to it, and the ball goes out for a throw-in in front of Mauricio Pochettino in Chelsea's favour. So approaching 20 minutes, Sam, what have you made of it so far? Yeah,
50-50 game so far. You can see why the first goal is so important in games, because I think whichever side gets this gets a control, and then they'll have to open themselves up a little bit more now. But good game, both teams trying to be progressive, both teams trying to get a result.
Ball back with Chelsea in their penalty area. Chelsea have won one of their last 4. That was at home to Brighton last Sunday with 10 men. Lost at Manchester United and Newcastle, and had that excellent draw 4-4 at Stamford Bridge with Manchester City a few weeks ago. They've been scoring plenty, but they've also been shipping a few as well. Mauricio Pochettino's team, he's been struggling with injuries and suspensions, but name a manager who isn't at the moment. Spoke to him after that game at Old Trafford the other night. Very, very frustrated figure he cut. Here come Chelsea down the right with Broja to the edge of the area, tries to pull back towards Palmer. It was asking a lot. Mikalenko goes sliding in on Palmer. Free kick goes the way of Everton, and for some reason Palmer is getting shown a yellow card there. Is that for a dive or?
Yeah, I think Palmer was expecting the contact, went down trying to get it, and then realised that he just wasn't touched at all, sprang back up and then carried on getting the ball, trying to make out that he didn't dive.
I'm looking at the replay. I mean, he goes to ground, yes, doesn't immediately look at the referee, and actually, rather than a dive, could you be really old-fashioned, Sam, and say that was just a slip?
He knew what he was doing, but I think he was... It's a tough one. I might have done it myself once or twice. Where you're expecting contact, so you brace yourself for the contact, go down, and think, oh, actually, no one touched me. So you get back up quickly and.
Long ball forwards by Everton. Sanchez, good starting position, comes to make the claim on his 18-yards line. Mauricio Pochettino bending the ear of the fourth official for a good 30 seconds there. Tony Harrington on this near side, just asking what on earth was that all about? Because the thing is, if you're going to accuse someone of diving, we've mentioned it many times before, you're accusing them of cheating.
Yes.
And you've got to get that spot on.
He didn't appeal for it. To be fair to him, as soon as he was down, he was back up. He just went down to his knees basically and sprang straight back up to get the ball again. So easily could have played on and not obviously booked him.
5 goals for the season so far for Cole Palmer following his latest one the other night. Chelsea played the ball from Gallagher back to goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. 20 minutes of the game gone, 0-0 at the moment, as it is in the other games which kicked off at 2 o'clock between Luton and Manchester City and Fulham and West Ham. Gallagher once again back to Sanchez, being closed down by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Sanchez keeps possession though as he picks out Palmer down the right. Palmer moves into the midfield and switches things from right to left. Chelsea have a bit of space down the left now with Mark Cucurella as he comes driving forward, keeps running, might fancy a shot, instead goes wide to Mudryk with the cross, Pickford with the save with his feet, behind for a corner. Third corner for Chelsea.
Calm play by Chelsea. 1 minute they're pinned in on their right back position. Next minute, a couple of passes out on the other side. Ended up with a dangerous cross into the box.
Quick short corner. Gallagher sends in the cross towards the back post, just too long and too high that time for Armando Broja, who's come into the side as one of 4 changes. Behind it goes for a goal kick. Everton beat Chelsea in this fixture 2 seasons ago. In fact, they've won this fixture 4 of the last 5 seasons. They lost last season 1-0 on the opening weekend. So a good record, and it's a record that they'll need to maintain given that points deduction that they received a few weeks ago. I mean, they've already moved out of the relegation zone, but make no mistake about it, they're in a serious battle.
Yeah, they are in good form, but can they maintain it? Especially coming into January, two opposite ends of the spectrum here. Everton now, who literally have got no money to spend, they're going to be raising what they can spend. And then on the other side, you've got Chelsea, who've just spent £1 billion on players, and to be brutally honest, I think without the 10 points, I think Everton would have actually been above Chelsea today.
Everton would have started the day in 10th, yeah. Ball in the Chelsea right back area. Reece James plays the ball off. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's been lively, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, without really threatening so far. Yeah,
a couple of times he hasn't held the ball up particularly well. The ball's coming into him when Everton are deep. You're thinking, come on, just hold it up, let's get out of the pitch. And he passed one off the pitch or given the ball away. Also a couple of times I think just like to open his legs a little bit more. It looks like he's just easing his way into the game. A player who's been out for so long, it can take a while to get your rhythm back in, things that you just do naturally without even thinking.
0-0, Chelsea inside their own half, moving over the line now. Cucurella at speed, cuts it inside. Gallagher with time and space in the midfield, midway inside the half. Cucurella short to Fernandes. Mudryk's making the run, but he goes the other way back to Gallagher. Chelsea, when they do have chance to put a move together, do look quite lively, quite threatening, especially down that far side, the left. Disasi has it now though inside right, level with the edge of the centre circle, receives it back from Cole Palmer, received that questionable yellow card a few moments ago. Ball played forwards from the back, Badiashile all the way through to Pickford, who kicks it out of his hands, long downfield, and now Calvert-Lewin's going to give chase into the area, chests it down. It didn't sit up kindly for him, the offside flag's gone up, but it just goes to show that, without wanting to sound really old-fashioned, one kick out of Pickford's hand, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was very nearly in.
It's why we all love football, isn't it? There's so many different ways to play it. There's not a right way or a wrong way. There's a fashionable way, certainly, and that changes over time as well. To be honest, it was actually Pickford. I don't think Dominic Calvert-Lewin was even expecting the pass, but Pickford saw it, left the ball in area, and Dominic was like, "Oh, I'm in here."
I'll Be interested to know if that's exactly what he said in that way.
Yeah, just that way, that tone as well.
Ooh, what an opportunity. An opportunity's been taken at Craven Cottage by Raul Jimenez. Fulham 1, West Ham 0, midway through the first half there. Commentary continues on the BBC Sport website and app. Over on 5 Live, Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Ball high on the halfway line, 0-0 here also. Decore over the top, well played ball. Calvert-Lewin edge of the area, left side. He's got support arriving from Dwight McNeil. McNeil keeps hold of it on his left foot. He's got Mikalenko overlapping, crosses the ball himself. It's cleared, shot goes in from the edge of the area and just wide from Jack Harrison. It wasn't the cleanest contact in the world. It didn't need to be though, as Sanchez went flying to his left, just wide of that bottom corner.
Yeah, great technique. Cross from Dwight McNeil, cleared out. So Jack Harrison facing his own goal, swivels and volleys in one, just wide of the goal. Sanchez was scurrying across a full stretch dive. He was worried there, moment for the keeper. Jack
Harrison joined from Leeds in the summer, impressive player. Chelsea have been awarded a free kick for a foul on Cucurella in the left back area. 1 goal this season, Harrison, that was here in the 3-0 win against Bournemouth back in October, and very nearly made it a second for the season there. Didn't catch it, as we say, completely well, just went to guide it towards the bottom corner, and it was enough to make Robert Sanchez flying across in a little bit of panic. We're going to have a substitution made here by Chelsea. They're getting ready to bring on Levi Colwill just down below us. And I'm just looking at who's picked up and not. The jeers are for the amount of time being taken and where the ball's actually being placed by Robert Sanchez for this Chelsea free kick in the left back area. Hits it long, header won by Tarkowski. McNeil Calvert-Lewin tried to take it on the turn. Chelsea have it back. Dizazi moves it to the right to Cole Palmer, and Colwill will come on during the next break in play. So some early disruption here from Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, it can only be a centre half, I think. I'm just looking at both of them. They both seem to be moving okay.
James has it wide on the right inside his own half, looking for options ahead of him. Tried to play in Broja, who's not really had the service in the opening quarter of this game. So Colwill will come on here for the visitors Chelsea at Goodison Park, and he is going to take the place of Reece James, who gives the captain's armband to Conor Gallagher. Reece James has lasted just 26 minutes here at Goodison Park.
Worrying sign that, because I can't see of any significant reason or moment he got injured, so that's not good. The worst of it, if he'd had gone for a big tackle or been kicked, you'd expect it, but you can see him there, he's very disillusioned walking off the pitch, has a little chat with Pochettino as he goes off, so that tells you it's a muscular injury that resurfaced or hasn't been able to shake off or hasn't eased off as the game's prolonged.
So Colwill on for Reece James. Gallagher receives the armband and play will continue from the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. So disruption here. He started all right too, Reece James, hadn't he, until that moment. He's clearly just had a word with his manager on this near side, which is where he's been playing. Dizazi forwards to Cole Palmer, nicely played on the turn, gives it to Cucurella, who's moved to the right now. Colwill will slot in over on the far side. Garner takes no chances, puts a foot in on Palmer, and Chelsea have their 4th corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, racking up the corners, Chelsea. But just going back to Richarlison, he's a really, really good player, but he's been blighted by injuries last 6-12 months again, and again it's stifled his growth, his potential a little bit.
Quick short corner, Gallagher, Mudryk inside right, back out to the right to Gallagher, who's got Palmer wide of him. Gallagher tries to play it forwards, but it couldn't be taken first time by Fernandez. Everton able to scramble it clear up towards the halfway line. They're going to be difficult to break down here, Everton. Not only have they won their last 2, they kept 2 clean sheets in the process, and it's things like that what helped. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the main striker, back doing his bit defensively. Cucurella does well to nick it off McNeil, and the ball's in the centre circle here now with Chelsea and Moises Caicedo. 28 minutes of the game gone. Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea have lost Reece James. Colwill on. Best chance of the game, you have to say, he's gone Chelsea's way. A Palmer shot from distance with his left foot. It was aiming towards the top corner. Pickford with a good save to keep it out. Everton have had a lot of the ball, haven't forced Robert Sanchez into anything too serious so far. Ball with Colwill, the substitute, making his first touch there. Mudryk. It's very quiet, Goodison Park. Given what we were saying before kick-off about the atmosphere in this place, it's very quiet.
I was expecting a little bit more of a fever pitch atmosphere today. A little bit more raucous, a stadium of supporters trying to not only raise their team but also make it hard for Chelsea to play, and Chelsea have eventually started passing the ball around. And
Chelsea have got another problem here on the injury front, because Moises Caicedo has just been caught by Garner and he's gone down holding his right knee. Trainer hasn't been called for, won't need to be called for either. That's the gesture from Michael Oliver, the referee. I think it's more of an impact injury there rather than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Cole Palmer's a player, isn't he? A young player, obviously let go by Man City. You see him here. Anything good that Chelsea are doing, or now as the game just starts to get a little bit hard for them to break down, anything good Chelsea going forward are coming through him. He just whipped a great ball into the centre forward's feet just now. He's bright, he's lively, good ability.
It cost just over 40 million, scored the other night, 9 goals for the season in total in all competitions, 5 in the Premier League. Ball hit long by Mikolenko. Goes nowhere quickly, was nowhere near Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, and Chelsea will have it back in their right back area, which is now being occupied by Mark Cucurella following Reece James's substitution. That's a good ball forwards by Caicedo. Can Palmer get on the end of it? No, not quite. That was a good interception by Branthwaite, who's gone down holding his left knee. Chelsea continue to play. Cucurella has just been fouled, but Chelsea still have it. Fernandes keeps it moving. Colwill, Mudryk takes over wide on the left. He's got Colwill wide of him. He's got Harrison in his face. Mudryk still has possession of the ball. Branthwaite still down for Everton on this near side. Cole Palmer, 25 yards out inside right, gives it to Gallagher, and now Disasi picks out Cucurella. Still Branthwaite stays down. Chelsea will play on though. He's sitting up. He doesn't look in a massive amount of discomfort. What are Chelsea going to do? Disasi, Cucurella. I mean, Sean Dyche is fuming on this near side. Eventually, Moises Caicedo makes the decision to put the ball out. That's one of those, when you're in a good position like that, away from home, what do you want to do?
Yeah, it is indeed. I can see Pochettino actually trying to get his own team to put the ball out. Cucurella's not happy with Sean Dyche, and Pochettino's acting as peacemaker and apologising for his team not putting the ball out. But I know he doesn't look in pain, but I'm guessing, not that I know the lad personally, but he'd be one who would get up. If he felt he could get up, he would be up and carried on defending for his team. So a little bit concerned now, seeing what the physio has to say on his knee. Yeah,
just receiving some treatment on that left knee. Mentioned earlier, 21 years of age, Jared Branthwaite, successful loans at Blackburn and PSV, and you were hinting earlier in the commentary you've been impressed as a former defender yourself by what you've seen of him so far.
Yeah, it's his breakthrough season, like I said, but he's wholehearted, committed, he's a good size. Wins his individual battles more times than not, which we saw earlier. Although he had lost the initial one, he got back in and made a good tackle. He's forming a good partnership with Tarkowski. It's quite a good team to come in and play centre-back with, because they're not expecting him to receive a goal kick in his 6-yard box and play out from the back. I'm not saying he can or can't do that, but it allows him just to concentrate on just defending whilst you're making your way in the game. And that can come in time. So he's had a great start to the season personally.
So all the players have just come to this near side to take on board some drinks, while Branthwaite continues to receive treatment from the medical team on this near touchline. Elsewhere, Arsenal 4, Chelsea 1 is now a full-time scoreline in the WSL, and Fulham have got a second at Craven Cottage against West Ham. Willian adding to the 1 from Raul Jimenez 9 minutes earlier. Fulham 2, West Ham 0. Commentary of that one continues over on the BBC Sport website and app on 5 Live. Full commentary of Luton against Manchester City. No Erling Haaland for Manchester City today because of what's being described as a stress fracture in his foot, so he doesn't feature, and it's currently goalless. You can listen to commentary on 5 Live with Nathan Jones and Alistair Bruce-Bull. Branthwaite on this near side, back on his feet, moving a little bit gingerly, but looks like he's going to be okay to continue.
Yeah, actually saw the magic sponge has gone now in football. Now you have a little ice pack, like a little bag of ice, and I saw him rubbing that, which suggests it was a bang of knees rather than a twist. A twist is obviously far more dangerous. A bang of knee, you'd like to think you could run off.
Did you have a preference between the ice pack and the sponge?
The ice pack, I think, just over the sponge.
Sam Ricketts, former Wales international, with us here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. Everton 0, Chelsea 0. 12 minutes to go plus stoppage time in the first half. Ball with Benoit Badiashile in the centre circle. Gallagher guides it to his left, to Caicedo. Branthwaite's back on and looks to be moving just fine. Long ball forwards by Badiashile, looking for the run of Mudryk down the left. Too much on that, straight into the Chelsea fans over on the far side. Just bring us up to date with you, Sam, just while we've got a bit of an opportunity for those people who've not heard your name for a few months. What is it you're up to now?
Well, about 2 years ago, set up a company just outside where I live in South Manchester, so like a building supplies, horticulture, landscaping, so really anything to do with you if you're building a house or doing up your garden, whether it be landscaping, patios, or actually from a horticulture point of view. So something very different, something I've always wanted to do, something outside of football, and over the years I always spoke to players who've gone off and set up different companies and just enjoying spending more time at home with the family.
Missing the game, or do you enjoy doing something different when you've spent your life in the game?
I'm just very, very fortunate that
Foul by Decore on Cucurella in the halfway line.
I've not missed. I didn't miss playing from the day I had to retire due to an injury, and I've not missed since I've stopped managing or coaching. So I've been really lucky. I love football, and if I was still involved, I'd still love doing it. But I love coming to games now, watching games or listening to them on the 5 Live, obviously.
10 out of 10, spot on. Disarzi on this near side, he gets caught by Decore. Free kick to Chelsea on their right. Sting's gone out of this one a little bit.
Yeah, it has. I'm just wondering, looking at Everton, me saying earlier on about them trying to keep the high tempo, trying to generate the atmosphere in the stadium. They haven't really been able to do that. I just wonder how much did Wednesday night against Newcastle take out of them. It was a big performance, a lot of energy exposed, and I just don't know if they can quite hit those heights today. Yeah. Although you have to give Chelsea credit as well for them taking a little bit of sting out of the game. Although they've not been great, they've tried to pass the ball and build up slowly and kill the support.
Ball out for a Chelsea throw on the right, level with the edge of the Everton box. 10 minutes to go until half time, plus you'd imagine quite a bit of stoppage time given the stoppages that we've had for injuries so far. Sean Dyche and Mauricio Pochettino just having an interesting exchange just down below us there. Smile on Mauricio Pochettino's face, all seems fairly amicable.
I think it's to do with Ashley Young being injured, so I think Sean Dyche is asking one of the substitutes to make sure you have a few good runs.
Yeah, he's moving.
Whether it be Nathan Patterson or Ben Godfrey, I wonder who we'll go for.
He's moving a little bit gingerly in the penalty area at the moment. Ashley Young. Throw in to be taken here by Cucurella, who you can't miss with that long hair. Needs someone to show for him. Starting to frustrate the Everton supporters, the amount of time being taken. In the end, he picks out Palmer. Ball comes off him, and Everton have a throw after all of that. 0-0 Everton and Chelsea. Big week of live football on BBC Radio 5 Live. Big Champions League games for Newcastle, and first and foremost Manchester United on Tuesday against Bayern Munich, both live. As the ball goes back to Robert Sanchez on the head of his D. Just needs a spark, this game, you feel, because we've spoken about the atmosphere inside Goodison Park not being at its usual level today. Everton have it now on the halfway line, but Tarkowski's been made to face his own goal because Enzo Fernandez was right in his face. Is that a free kick to Everton on halfway? No, says the referee. Colwell comes away with the ball. Mudryk overlapping, moves into the penalty area. Mudryk on his right foot, sends it across. Nobody waiting at the back post. It was a poorly placed cross from another decent position from Mikhailo Mudryk, and the ball's cleared away to the edge of the centre circle. Cucurella heads it into Benoit Badiashile. Good pressing by Everton, and James Garner in particular, who continues to chase down Robert Sanchez. Everton forcing Chelsea to go all the way back to their own goalkeeper from a really promising attacking position. Calvert-Lewin in a battle with Disarzi. Chelsea keep hold of the ball. Gallagher, that's more like it. A little bit of oomph, for want of a better word, in this game. Coming together this time with Colwell and Harrison, who's backtracking, but Mudryk is picked out. Tries to beat Young. Does beat Young. In goes the cross, put over the crossbar by Broja, who took it from a difficult angle. That's more like it from Chelsea. Everton supporters not happy. They wanted a free kick for a foul in the build-up.
Yeah, both teams just trying to up the tempo there a little bit more. You can see how Everton are going to score. They're going to harry, they're going to press, they're going to block something, would be set piece. And Chelsea, you can see there, for the first time since we spoke about it earlier, Modric ended up 1v1 versus Ashley Young again, straight round the outside with the cross in the box. It's amazing, isn't it, that we can see such a weakness from Everton's point of view, or strength from Chelsea's point of view, and yet the way the game goes, they just haven't been able to exploit that 1v1 situation as much as what certainly Chelsea would have wanted to.
Yeah, Broja not getting the service really. Nathan Patterson, Sam, is the person who Sean Dyche has chosen to bring on from the bench here, so that substitution will be made shortly as Pickford goes long for Everton, looking for the head of Calvert-Lewin. Well won by Chelsea. They're coming into this game more and more here. Well played by Enzo Fernandez, beating his man in the midfield. Forwards to Broja, who tried to take it on the turn. It was a poor first touch. It got away from him. Made the clearance easy in the end from an Everton perspective. Mikalenko and Branthwaite both involved. Branthwaite goes back to goalkeeper Pickford. and Everton will build again from the back. Patterson stripped off and ready to make his entrance right down below us here at the foot of the main stand. Pickford in no hurry to get the ball forwards here. I mentioned at the start of the game, there's question marks over his fitness coming into it. He passed his late fitness test. Seamus Coleman didn't. Long ball forwards. McNeil found him behind. McNeil through here, lets the ball get away from him. His first touch let him down. I mean, he's been bailed out by the offside flag, but that was one long ball over the top. McNeil in a really good position in behind the two centre halves, and it looked like he was going to run clean through on goal until he misjudged the bounce and just made a complete mess of it.
I'm sure I'm echoing every Everton supporter in the stadium who says shoot. It sat up for him just thinking he was going to shoot from the edge of the box. He wanted to take another touch and he miscontrolled it, and now the the Chelsea defenders to get back in.
His confidence is high. He's got 2 goals this season, Dwight McNeil, and they've come in Everton's last 2 games, so not short of confidence, but didn't feel like he could take that shot on for whatever reason from about 22 yards out. Here come Chelsea in the centre circle now. Palmer with a through ball. Browyer's going to give chase. Pickford hesitates. Browyer gets there, forced wide inside the penalty area. Cucurella arrives in support. Browyer on his left foot, back to Palmer on the edge of the box, tries the curler, and I mean that was so far off target, nearly landed in Anfield. Goal kick.
Yeah, Brozier down the side. They just seem to run out a little bit of ideas. He gets in there and all of a sudden he's got no support in the box. Slow, and it ends up being Everton getting all 9 outfield players behind the ball.
So Nathan Patterson comes on. And as Sam Ricketts identified a few moments ago, Ashley Young will leave the field because of an injury. That's the bad news. The good news, from an Everton point of view, Jared Branthwaite, following the treatment he received on his left knee, looks to be moving just fine, but Ashley Young can no longer continue.
Yep, so one good, one bad news. Ondal de Jong Patterson's feeling coming on facing Mudryk. I see him just stretch off his hamstrings. I thought you're going to need those in about 5 minutes now.
On comes Patterson, off goes Young, adding to the Seamus Coleman injury in that position too. That's why he moved to right back today. Coleman was apparently training using a treadmill on the Friday and had to be taken off it and was just told, look, you need to rest up. And that's why he's not been chosen today. That's according to the Everton social media pre-match. Elsewhere, Fulham leading West Ham 2-0 over on the BBC Sport website and app. 0-0 on 5 Live between Luton and Manchester City, and 0-0 here on BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra between Everton and Chelsea in the Premier League. Later, full commentary. Speaking of injuries, Newcastle go to Tottenham. With hardly any players. Tottenham Newcastle live with Pat Nevin and John Murray. That's the 4:30 kick-off. Ball high inside the centre circle, headed forwards by Moises Caicedo. Can Chelsea keep hold of it? Mudryk's trying his best, so too Gallagher, so too Browyer, and now Fernandes ends up moving clear. Advantage played, Gallagher dead centre, 25 yards out, moves to the right. Cole Palmer will take over. Cucurella making a good run from right back. Palmer tries the curler, takes a deflection. Chelsea have another corner. Corners keep coming, Sam, but the goals don't.
No, they don't. Cole Palmer's still looking Chelsea's most dangerous player. Anytime he gets on his left foot around the goal, anywhere around the box, he's looking to shoot. He's had 1 great shot, 2 indifferent ones. That one getting a corner for his team. Brozier, 6'3", 6'4", big unit. It does amaze me when they roll around on the floor saying they're hurt, and then bounces back up to come and attack the corner.
Coming together with Nathan Patterson. Applause for Mudryk and Palmer as they go over to the far side to take this corner. It's going to be Cole Palmer to take an outswinger from the Chelsea left. Fulham have got a third now at home to West Ham. Toshin Adarabioyo with the goal. Fulham 3, West Ham 0. Palmer's corner is poor and low towards the near post. Cleared only as far as Gallagher, who pumps the ball back in towards the back post. Needs to be dealt with. Is dealt with by Dwight McNeil. Only as far as Moises Caicedo. Cucurella heads it back towards his own goal here, and Caicedo as a result under pressure from Abdoulaye Doucouré, and all of a sudden from a Chelsea corner in a promising position they're back inside their own penalty area with goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Good pressing by Everton on Cucurella. Sanchez this time no time for messing about, has to go long and high downfield. Was there a foul by Colwill on Branthwaite? Yes. Everton free kick on the halfway line. Ironic cheers from the crowd here at Goodison.
Yeah, straight away Tarkowski, knowing that we're getting towards the halfway stage, slows the game down. He goes forward, so Jordan Pickford's going to take this deep free kick from 8 yards inside his own half. He's going to try and leave it just down the middle of the pitch, I'd imagine.
Approaching the final minute of the first half, plus you'd imagine quite a bit of stoppage time. Sean Dyche's just been having a word with Steve Stone, who forms part of his coaching staff. Steve Stone barking instructions to the left of the technical area. Mauricio Pochettino having a word with the assistant referee just next to them. Pickford with the free kick just inside the Everton half, inside left. He's going to hit it long and diagonal, looking for a blue head. It nearly made its way through to Tarkowski, who was making a late run. In the end, it goes past everybody. Goal kick. How would you describe this first half, Sam? I think from a neutral's point of view, it's been quite frustrating because there's been glimpses of quality, but not too much to get you overly excited about.
Yeah, the first 5-10 minutes we were thinking, oh, here we go, it's going to be a game, good tempo, both teams trying to be on the front foot, both teams trying to take the game to the opposition, and then kind of petered out, whether it be a lack of energy on Everton's part, maybe even Chelsea played Wednesday night as well, and it's just kind of the game's just nearly not grinded to a halt, but it's just been a very pragmatic game. Hopefully half time, a few energy sweets, we'll get back to a good bit of tempo in the second half.
We'll be rejoining Steve Crossman and the 5 Live team during half-time here at Goodison, which is imminent. Are Chelsea going to be leading? Because here comes Gallagher down the centre, plays in Mudryk. Mudryk's ball over the top. Palmer peeled away from his man to try and keep himself free, but that was well read by Mykolenko. Headed the ball clear, and it's back with Badiashile, edge of the centre circle. 4 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. Additional time. Ball out for a Chelsea throw. In the Everton left back area, Cole Palmer, ball in field, Caicedo, little bit of space, keeps it ticking over, Gallagher dead centre, raking ball to the left, Mudryk brings it down first time with the inside of his right foot, works it onto his left, running at the substitute Nathan Patterson in front of the Chelsea supporters gathered in that away section over on the far side. Enzo Fernandez, he's got 2 for company, does well to keep hold of the ball and finds Caicedo. Palmer, who's had Chelsea's best chance of the game, you have to say, well saved by Pickford flying to his right. Chelsea from left to right, infield. Here's Palmer. He's got Disasi in support, goes back to Cucurella on the edge of the area, and now Gallagher might fancy the effort. 3 blue shirts on him in a flash. Chelsea playing lots of football, going sideways here. Can they make this passage of play count? Caicedo's ball in, headed away. Caicedo brings the clearance back down. Gallagher sends it up into the air, and Palmer has it wide on the right, gives it away. Everton patient with their defending there, clear it over halfway, and the ball goes out for an Everton throw midway inside the Chelsea half. Good football all round.
Yeah, good defended by Everton. Excellent at defending crosses into the box. The fullbacks come in nice and narrow, both good in the air, so the amount of Chelsea crosses that they've cleared has been excellent. Obviously with the 2 big centre halves as well, Tarkowski and Braithwaite, who we spoke about already. But they're quite happy to absorb the pressure, Everton. They don't get too stretched.
Ball with Everton and Calvert-Lewin in by the corner flag, and 2 minutes into first half stoppage time, Everton have won their first corner of the match.
Yeah, that's better from Calvert-Lewin. First of all, he got his body in to win the throw-in as Everton cleared the ball from their defensive area, and then secondly he's got his body in again, been a nuisance, and wins a corner, and that's what his team need to do. They are going to be pushed back and they are going to have to defend today, so anytime the ball comes into him, what can he generate for his team? Leicester
1 up at Brighton in the WSL, 0-0 here, Everton and Chelsea, dying seconds of the first half. Corner in swinger from the Everton left to be sent in Gladys Street end by James Garner, both hands in the air, and it goes towards the 6 yards area, headed away by Chelsea. Ball picked up by Mykolenko, time and space, crossed in towards the back post. Tarkowski knocks it down. Enzo Fernandez with more height than distance on the clearance, sent back in by Idrissa Gana-Gueye. Caicedo with the defensive answers this time. Everton have it back left side of the centre circle with Mykolenko. Forwards to Garner, wide on the left. McNeil will take over on the edge of the box. Ball comes off the back of Mudryk. Good spell of pressure this from Everton at the end of the half. They've got another corner.
Yeah, just something the supporters have been waiting for. You can start raising their voice now.
The same as last time. Garner with an in-swinger, Gladys Street end. Every single person in mint green Chelsea kits back defending this late first half set piece. 3 minutes of the 4 added on have been played. And now we've got a coming together inside the penalty area involving Mark Cucurella, who's gone down holding his face, and that's going to delay the taking of this corner. We'll just wait for a replay on that. It was a coming together between Cucurella and Tarkowski. It's right behind the post, the stanchion, which blocks our view of that part of the penalty area here.
They were wrestling last corner to the point where Cucurella wasn't even, his back was to the ball, facing the opposite way, trying to block, trying to hold Tarkowski.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened here, Sam. Basically Cucurella's tried to wrestle Tarkowski to the ground, and as he's fallen I think he's caught his face. on Tarkowski's boot.
It does amaze me how more penalties aren't given corners or fouls even when players aren't even looking at the ball.
Corner swung in by Ghana this time towards the back post. Sanchez comes, doesn't get there. Decore tries the acrobatic effort. Ball falls for Mikalenko, back out to Ghana, sends in the cross, deep, too deep. Kukurea can't take any chances though under pressure from Idrissa Gana-Gueye. Sends it up into the air. Everton throw level with the edge of the penalty area. Poor corners those, really.
Yeah, they are. We think what we had last throws of the first half, can they get some pressure on this Chelsea goal?
Patterson's cross from the right. Chelsea deal with it, and there is the half-time whistle blown by Michael Oliver. Best chance of the game went the way of Chelsea. It was Cole Palmer who tried his luck on his left foot from the edge of the area, caught a sweet shot. Pickford had to watch it blind to his right because it was arrowing towards the top corner. Got two hands on it, made the save. Everton coming into it more late in the half, but overall, Sam Ricketts, when it comes to overall entertainment and quality, there's not been too much to shout about here at Goodison.
No, there hasn't. I think Everton will be going off with the happier of the two teams. I think they're certainly the underdogs in terms of how the squad looks, with the position they're in as a club wise. So they'll be happy with coming in at 0-0, thinking we're still well in the game. Similar to midweek, 0-0 at half time, a goal second half, and obviously they can go on and win the game. Chelsea have probably been a bit frustrated, probably all the money that they've spent. Pochettino not happy with the midweek performance, making changes again and again. They've passed the ball okay, but not really looked threatening in any consistent form. Only Cole Palmer really. Has he looked any danger when he's gotten the ball near the opposition goal? Right at the end of the first half at Kenilworth Road, just while Everton were taking those corners here, Luton have taken the lead against Manchester City. Elijah Adebayo with the goal. Luton 1, Manchester City 0. We'll be back with full live second half commentary on 5 Sports Extra in around about 11 or 12 minutes time here at Goodison. But at half time, it's Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
A hotel room just so he could eat food that he felt was nutritionally beneficial.
Is that the chicken feet again?
I had no idea what he was cooking.
That's what he eats now.
Does he eat chicken feet?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. Apparently it's made him who he is. But I mean, he even has now Townsend Senior on his back because his young son's called Andros Townsend Jr. And Senior is exactly what he is. It's his influence, it's everything. But at the end of the day, he is still capable of producing brilliant crosses like that. Well,
it's not just that. It's obviously he would have had to adapt his game slightly. He's probably not as athletic or as potently quick as probably was before. So he's had to adapt his game. His quality's still there. His potency's still there. His work rate, his desire, and one thing he has, which you can't buy, is the experience, and that's what he's bringing to this team now.
And just on Manchester City, you said during commentary there it feels like City need to score the perfect goal. So are they overplaying a bit then?
I wouldn't say they're overplaying. I think it's a necessity because they can't just put it in. Luton Town just broke. They were 30, 40 yards from goal. They check on his left foot and put it into an area, and because of size and power and the quality of the ball, they can do that. Man City can't really do that because, with the greatest respect, Alvarez isn't going to come over the back of anyone and really dominate, and that's what they're missing. Everything else, they've been 90% dominant.
Steve, we were talking about Ross Barkley before the game, and he was talking about his time at Nice. I just thought that is classic Barkley for Luton in that goal there. That's the last 10 seconds of the first half. That 3 men on him inside his own half. Didn't take the easy route out, still saw an option to do something creative. The footwork was fabulous to get Luton away, and that's basically what created the goal.
Yeah, he's not a fancy football player, is he? Because he's often the player before the player who gets the assist.
That's right, that's right, exactly.
Go enjoy your chicken feet then, Ali, I suppose.
Thank you, yes, I'll go and find the stove right now.
Lovely. Ali Bruce Ball and Nathan Jones at Kenilworth Road. What a potential story is brewing there. Luton Town have been absolutely brilliant, and they lead Manchester City at half-time by 1-0 in the Premier League. It's also half-time at Craven Cottage. Fulham flying, Chris Wise.
Yeah, they really are. Goals are in their DNA at the moment. Terrific, intense, creative. Craven Cottage gave them a rousing reception as they departed the pitch. Half-time score, Fulham 3, West Ham 0. The goals 22 minutes in from Jimenez. Beautiful header from him. 4 in his last 5 in the Premier League now after Palinha's cross. Willian side-footing into the bottom corner to make it 2-0. Tosin scored his first Premier League goal in 15 months. Pereira's corner, he met it. Commanding header. Went off Sofal on its way in, but it'll still be Tosin's goal. West Ham rescued the London derby, didn't they, during the week after being 1-0 down at half-time against Spurs. I don't know how they do that today. They look really tired. Obviously, 24 hours later, they played compared to Fulham in midweek, but I have to say they're miles off it. Fulham 3, West Ham 0.
Fulham have scored 14 goals in their last 3.5 Premier League games. That's got a Goodison at Everton holding Chelsea or a Chelsea holding Everton, Tom Gale.
Well, wait for my report for you to decide that, Steve. Half-time, Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Pickford with the game's only saves of note. First from Fernandes, who drove low towards the corner. Then Cole Palmer let fly from 30 yards but was denied. Palmer was booked for diving before Reece James's fitness issues continue. He was replaced by Colwell after less than half an hour. Injury concerns also for Sean Dyche, as he had to replace Ashley Young with Nathan Patterson. His team yet to hit the target. Half-time, Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
It's finished in the Champions Cup in that match between Sale Sharks and Stade Francais. Let's hear from my second favourite rugby voice on 5 Live, Chris Jones.
What an honour it is to share the airwaves with you, Steve. Sale 28, Stade 5. Strong second half from Sale. They won it 22-0 thanks to tries from O'Flaherty, Hill and Dugdale against the rotated Stade side, which didn't offer too much, if we're honest. The only nagging issue is how much Sale could have done with that try bonus point. They scored 3 tries but not 4, given they have trips to Leinster, Stormers and then the mighty, and they really are mighty, La Rochelle still to come here at the AJ Bell. Sale need every point they can get, but they've won, and they've won well. Sale 28, Stade 5.
Big win that for Sale. In the Women's Super League, Arsenal, huge win for them, beat Chelsea by 4-1. It means they join Chelsea at the top of the Women's Super League, 22 points each from their 9 matches. Half-time scores: Brighton 0, Leicester 1, and Liverpool 0, Bristol City 0. There's 2 more games later on today, including West Ham against Everton, which kicks off in the next 5 minutes' time. In the Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 2-1 winners over Celtic this afternoon, so that means Celtic stay 5 points clear at the top, but Rangers have a game in hand. Kilmarnock have now beaten Celtic twice and Rangers once this season alone. We'll be making our first trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium shortly, ahead of Spurs versus Newcastle, which is a full commentary for you here on 5 Live at 4:30. We'll do that after the latest news with Joe Hornby.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. The former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick says it was clear to anyone involved with the government's new Rwanda asylum legislation that it would not work. Mr Jenrick, who resigned from the government last week, says he'll vote against the bill when it goes before Parliament on Tuesday. The Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove insisted the bill was robust and legally sound. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected international calls to end the war in Gaza. Addressing his cabinet, Mr Netanyahu said he'd spoken to world leaders and told them a ceasefire was inconsistent with Israel's aim of eliminating Hamas.
I told them you cannot on the one hand support the elimination of Hamas and on the other pressure us to end the war, which would prevent the elimination of Hamas. And I think that in this fight, justice is on our side and unity is among us. When we're united as people, as a country, no force could prevent us from doing the right thing.
The World Health Organization says the war in Gaza is having a major impact on healthcare there, with toilets and showers being few and far between. Civilians have been urged to leave the city of Khan Yunis in the south of Gaza as Israel intensifies its offensive. Hundreds of properties in Lancashire are without power after the northwest of England was hit by 2 storms last night. Electricity cables were brought down during high winds from storms Erin and Fergus. Al Spencer has accused BBC senior managers of attempting to hide behind lawyers to prevent the release of thousands of emails relating to a 1995 interview with Princess Diana. The journalist Martin Bashir faked documents to secure it. The BBC has been ordered by a judge to release the emails after initially only sharing a small amount in response to a Freedom of Information request by a journalist, Andy Webb. Al Spencer says he supports the move.
The case that Andy's just effectively won has taken 2 years. The people at the BBC who are responsible for this have hidden behind expensive lawyers at a time when the BBC, this great national and international institution, is making cuts. And I think that's obscene.
On BBC iPlayer,
this is DCI Silver.
The award-winning series Vigil returns. Murder at a military airbase.
Take cover! Medic!
This is tantamount to an act of war.
And a brand new investigation.
What evidence do you even have?
I have enough.
starring Suran Jones
I love you.
and Rose Leslie.
Come home, please.
Vigil. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
What a huge moment at the end of the first half at Kenilworth Road in our first commentary this afternoon on Premier League Sunday. Adebayo's goal makes it Luton Town 1, Manchester City 0, Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 3, West Ham 0. The other two half-time scores. Both of those live, full commentaries across 5 Live, 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Let's take you back to Mumbai, shall we? That final ODI T20 between England and India's women. Henry Moran.
7 balls left of the England innings, 111 for 8 is the score. England lost 5 wickets for just 9 runs during the middle overs. They look a very different side when Nat Sivabrunt is rested, as has been the case in this game. England 2-0 up in the series, so an unassailable lead, but they're going to fall quite short of what would be a par score, you think. 113 for 8 now. Heather Knight, the captain, is on 40, and it's only the fact that she and Charlie Dean have managed to put on 37 that England's score looks vaguely respectable. 1 over left of the innings, 113 for 8 is the score.
Thank you, Henry. Chris Sutton has said this on Twitter. That second half performance was one of the worst I've seen from a Celtic team. You can be outplayed. You cannot be outfought and outrun. Well played, Kilmarnock. That one will be a good one for 606 later on. Killy fans, that's your 3rd win over one of the old firm this season. Celtic fans, that means the gap could be cut to 2 points at the top to Rangers 08085 909 693. Let's hear from the Celtic boss, Brendan Rodgers, unhappy with his side's second half performance.
The performance first half was very good. We scored a very good goal, could have had more goals, and our intensity was good, speed in the game was good, so I was pleased with that. The second half we never got started. We played the game that probably Kilmarnock wanted us to play, and instead of playing our game, we weathered a wee bit of a storm first 10-15 minutes, which you'd expect. Lots of corners we had to defend and defended them well, but we didn't. We got rid of the ball second half instead of passing it, so that was the biggest disappointment for the second half.
And I thought the weather was bad in Manchester this afternoon. Despite the rain, Kilmarnock manager Derek McInnes did a full-on Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford sprint down the touchline when they scored the winning goal. Here he is on the spirit showed by his players.
I thought in the first half we were just too passive, too unsure, too hesitant, and Celtic will sniff that. They'll take full advantage of it. Truth be told, I was pleased to get in just 1-0 down. I didn't like the version we were putting out there, and I take responsibility for that as well. It's not just my players, but I thought the players deserve all the credit. It's all right me telling them and imposing on them what we need to do second half. They're the ones I've got to go and carry out, and we ask a lot of them, but normally they answer up, and you need to do a hell of a lot right to beat Celtic, and we did do that. It was a whole risk and reward, and we got the reward, thankfully.
In the Women's Super League, Alessia Russo scored twice as Arsenal beat Chelsea 4-1 to move level on points with the leaders, and this in front of a WSL record crowd of 59,000 at the Emirates. Let's hear from Russo, player of the match. She spoke to Joe Curry afterwards.
Well, Alessia, how do you begin to sum up a performance like that against a team like Chelsea at a packed-out Emirates?
Yeah, I don't think Sundays get much better than that. Great day. I think we started the game really well. We knew we wanted to come out, start positively, and the crowd got behind us from minute one. So, we worked hard in the week and we were ready for it.
Did it feel like a must-win game before you kicked off?
I think every game is a must-win game for us. We had a tough start to the season, but we knew where we want to go as a team. The league is so competitive that you can't take one game off, especially against the team against Chelsea. So, it was a massive game, and we knew we had to be at our A game.
Arsenal and England striker Alessia Russo. Let's go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the first time this afternoon. 4:30 full commentary of Spurs versus Newcastle with correspondent John Murray. Afternoon, John.
Hi, Steve. Well, I can tell you what the big talking point is here ahead of the game, and it's the problems on the East Coast main line that have really made life difficult for the Newcastle fans coming down from the northeast of England to London for this match. I think there's every chance that maybe dozens, maybe hundreds of them might not be able to get here today. I can see already there is a smattering of Newcastle fans in their section in that corner, but I'm expecting that it will not be full.
Yeah, it was really bad. I was trying to get down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium myself, going for Leeds this morning, and there were no trains at all, so it's going to be really, really difficult for Newcastle fans. And, that would be a big deal for any team. But as Eddie Howe has said, it is the Newcastle fans, the home fans, that have made such a big difference, and they're just as important away.
Well, it is, and they have struggled away. There's no question about that, and I think a large part of that is the number of injuries that they have. But of course, Tottenham have got a lot of injuries as well, which is probably the reason that, or part of the reason that they've lost their last 3 home games. But Newcastle have put in big performances away from home. Remember how they won at Manchester United at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup, and they came within a few seconds and a controversial penalty of actually winning away to Paris Saint-Germain just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, their form away from home in the Premier League, just the one win away from St James's Park so far this season, is disappointing. But I think it feels like it's a bit of a survival of the fittest, this match today.
Yeah. John, thank you very much. That's correspondent John Murray, who'll be alongside Pat Nevin for commentary. We're ready for the second half then at Kenilworth Road. Pep Guardiola's face is a picture. Luton lead, could be a big story. Former Luton boss Nathan Jones is with Ali Bruce Ball. Yeah,
I was just about to describe him as grumpy Guardiola, Steve, as he came marching across the pitch to his...
Well, the team's on their way back out here on 5 Sports Extra at exactly the same time that they've come out at Kenilworth Road. What a game that sounds like. Luton 1, Manchester City 0 on 5 Live. Here at Goodison, substitution being made at half-time. Amadou Onana coming on for Idrissa Gana Gueye. I mean, he's walking a tightrope. Sam Ricketts in the midfield on a yellow card. He's suspended for the next game anyway because the yellow he picked up with his 5th one, but he was walking a tightrope following that earlier booking. So Onana comes on.
Yeah, not only that as well, I think, like I said earlier, is it just some fresh legs in there? I think for Everton, if they can get just up the tempo of the game a little bit more, I think as nice as this Chelsea team tried to pass the ball, I think they're there for the taking. If they could really get after them and show the same energy, commitment, pressure, and everything what they did to Newcastle midweek, this game's there for the second half for them.
Chelsea to get the second half started. Chelsea kicking from right to left, attacking the Gladys Street end. Everton, therefore, it doesn't take a genius to work out, will be attacking the opposite goal as they kick from left to right. Away we go. Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Second half commentary here on 5 Sports Extra with the former Wales international Sam Ricketts and myself, Lee Blakeman. Luton Man City, what a story that is at the moment, continues on 5 Live with Nathan Jones and Alistair Bruce Ball. And Fulham comfortably 3-0 up on West Ham. That one's on the BBC Sport website and app. As Chelsea go long, Mudryk gives chase down the left. Pickford, sweeper keeper, comes and tidies up. He made the one real save in the first half, Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, flying save to the right hand side. Good for the cameras. Actually, it was a very good save. I'm doing him a little bit of a disservice there, saying he was diving for the cameras. But Cole Palmer, the main threat for Chelsea. Let's see how we can start off the second half.
We've not worked together before, myself and Sam, and basically during the whole half-time interval, while you were listening to Steve and the team from 5 Live, we just spent it whinging about the lack of quality on offer here, because we both came here expecting a decent game, expecting a decent atmosphere. It's not been very good, and Goodison again at the start of the second half, very, very flat. Lots of supporters continue to pour back in from the concourse areas all around us. Balls with Pickford in his 6 yards area. Plays it out to Amadou Onana, the half-time substitute who gets his first serious touch. Jared Branthwaite receives the ball. He's moving just fine following that knee problem he picked up midway through the half. Everton getting everybody on the ball early here, playing some nice tidy one-touch football, and now it's with Garner in the midfield. Chips the ball forwards. Garner came in as one change from the side that started against Newcastle because of an injury to Coleman. McNeil with an early cross here, just a little bit too far ahead of Harrison, who will keep the ball in play on this near side, the Everton right. It was a dangerous looking ball in there. Patterson with the back heel, Harrison with the cross, Chelsea with the answers defensively in the air, and now here come Pochettino's team on the counter. Mudryk has got a lot of space to run into here. Patterson's been caught out of position. Mudryk keeps on going, couldn't feed through Broja with the final ball, and that allows Everton to clear. Mudryk, we mentioned this a little bit in the first half, he looks so impressive moving forwards down the left, but whenever it gets to the final third, especially today, really lacking in any kind of quality.
Yeah, it's when he gets left to make a decision, when the decision's made for him and the defender commits himself doing one thing or another, he'll do the opposite. But when he has to make a decision, he just looks like a player devoid of confidence, devoid of being able to make his own ideas, and ends up actually giving the ball away from promising situations.
Oh, Badia Shield just gave the ball to Decore, who gives it straight back to Chelsea, and here they come now with Enzo Fernandez, through ball, Broja gets on the end of it, he's been forced wide, left side of the area, takes it to the byline, Mudryk inside if he can pick him out. Everton defend well here, they've got two back defending, biting at the heels of Broja, one of which is the first half substitute Patterson. Chelsea do well to make it stick. Colwell into the area on his left foot, ball across the face of goal, cleared away well by Everton, who should complete the clearance with the second ball. Is that a foul? No, says the referee. No foul on Harrison. Chelsea actually stopped playing because they were expecting the whistle to go. Eventually, Everton come away with it. Loads of drama there as Everton move over the halfway line with Harrison now. Poor final ball, and Chelsea will go back to goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, waiting for a whistle that never came there with that potential foul on Harrison.
Yeah, they just look a yard away mentally, a yard away physically from just being able to tie a few passes together and really open the Chelsea team up on the breaks.
Chelsea on the attack down the right. Palmer 25 yards out, squares it. Fernandes with a curler, and Pickford watches it right behind it. Wasn't the best final shot by Fernandes, who had actually time to take a touch and look up. Poor side foot shot.
There was no power in it at all. No power, easily read by Pickford coming over. I think Cole Palmer actually resisted the opportunity to shoot from the same position he had a couple of times in the first half.
Everton down the right. This is more like it. Lively start to the second half, of which we've had 4 minutes. Dominic Calvert-Lewin to the byline, rolls it back to Jack Harrison, cutting in from the right on his left foot. Does he fancy a curling shot? No, instead he gives it to McNeil. Oh, shoot, that's a good save. Really good save by Sanchez to turn it round the bottom corner. McNeil let fly, got some power in that as well. It was arrowing towards the bottom corner, and that's a really good stop low down to his right by Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, great strike by McNeil. He actually made it hard for himself and controlled it just slightly behind himself, and he got the power on it. Again, the play started off by Pickford, a long ball into the channel, and Calvert-Lewin was just in down the right hand side. Not sure where the Chelsea defenders were.
In swinging corner from the Everton left. It's whipped in towards the 6 yards area, towards Tarkowski, punched away. Mikolenko with the shot over the bar. He had time and space there as well. Just rush of blood there that time, I think, from Mikolenko.
It was. Fell on his right foot, unfortunately for him and for all the supporters in there. Now Robert Sanchez has gone down with injury of some description.
It's just down on all fours at the moment, Robert Sanchez. I'm not sure if this is an impact injury or what, but it's just going to bring us another break in play while the trainers are called for. It's going to give me the opportunity for the first time in the second half to run through the lineups, just keeping an eye on Sanchez. He fell awkwardly as he came to make the punch away. Ball then fell for Mikolenko, blazed it high and wide, but he's just sitting down in his 6 yards area receiving some treatment at the moment, and he looks to be in some discomfort. George Petrovic is the substitute goalkeeper for Chelsea. He's just warming up at the moment. Everton with Pickford in goal, Patterson, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikolenko the back four. It's then Garner, Onana, Doucouré, Harrison, McNeil and Calvert-Lewin. As far as Chelsea are concerned, Sanchez in goal for the time being. Colwill, Disasi, Badiashile and Cucurella make up the back four. Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo. Then it's Palmer, Gallagher, Mudryk behind Broja, who's been really, really quiet given the opportunity that he's been given by his manager today to impress.
Yeah, he has coming in today instead of Jackson, obviously. And his play went really well. Debris well at Southampton and has been flirting. Is he... I think there's probably question marks over, and Chelsea supporters know better than me, but there are question marks over, is he good enough for Chelsea or is he not quite there? And every time he plays he does okay. I know he scored against Fulham a few weeks ago, but I'm not quite sure he's of the standard that Chelsea need for a number 9 in their team, going back to who they've had over the years, especially when the team I'll say speculating as much in the transfer market, trying to achieve what they're trying to achieve. I'm not sure he's the number 9 that's going to get them where they want to go.
Sanchez back on his feet. Medical team leave the field and he's going to be okay to continue. A couple of goals to tell you about in the WSL. Brighton 0, Leicester 2 and Liverpool 0, Bristol City 1. Over on 5 Live still, Luton 1, Haalandless Manchester City 0, Fulham 3, West Ham 0 on the BBC Sport website and app. Here goalless with 7 minutes gone in the second half. Ball out for Everton, or a Chelsea throw next to Sean Dyche, to be taken by Colwill. Short to Moises Caicedo. Colwill back to Badiashile, to Disasi, and they will play out down the right this time. Disasi, who was steady enough in the first half. Cucurella takes over. He started at left back, but following the injury to Reece James has switched from left to right. Conor Gallagher has just lost the ball in the centre circle. Handball decision goes goes Chelsea's way. Free kick to the visitors.
Yeah, fourth official gave that one. from the side of the pitch. I was wondering how the referee didn't have a good view, and then you just see the fourth official slyly touching his little button to talk across his walkie-talkie. Sean Dyche caught him though and is telling him that he didn't think he was right.
I don't think we need a walkie-talkie to work out what Sean Dyche is saying to the fourth official about that decision. Looks a little bit frustrated with it, we'll just say that. Chelsea just stringing passes together inside their own half at the moment, going nowhere quickly. Colwell, who came on as a substitute in the first half, gives it to Mudryk, who, as we mentioned a few moments ago, has been in so many good positions, but when he gets to the final third, seems to lack quality. It was the same story at Old Trafford the other night too. Broja's just had his pockets picked there, when he initially looked like he got loads of time and space. Everton go long, looking for Calvert-Lewin in an aerial battle with Disasi. Chelsea come out winners there. Conor Gallagher just inside his own half. Cucurella overlapping, and now Palmer with space to move into. Peeling in from the right. Mudryk ahead of him. Mudryk with the layoff, and now Enzo Fernandez, edge of the D, keeps on going. Broja can't take the ball, wasn't expecting the ball. Mikalenko will clear, and now here will come Everton on the break. Was that a foul by Gallagher? Yes, but the referee plays the advantage. McNeil forwards, opportunity, good save, it falls for Decore! Everton leads 8 minutes into the second half. Great counter-attack. It fell for Decore, his 6th goal of the season. Calvert-Lewin's initial effort, well saved by Sanchez. Decore could not miss, and Everton at the moment heading for their 3rd win in a row. Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
A finish he made look easy, and it certainly wasn't, but he drilled into the bottom corner. But before that, it was all down to Dwight McNeil, on the left-hand side. He beat Cucurella to the ball, then he drove, and slid a through ball of the finest quality to put Dominic Calvert-Lewin through. Brave 50-50 challenge with Sanchez. Ball spills to Decore. Bottom corner, 1-0 Everton. And finally, the supporters seem to have come alive here today.
And I said there in the commentary, Decore could not miss. I mean, the amount of panic that must have been coming at him as the ball fell to him very, very quickly. You'd expect a player of that quality to take it, and taking it in, drilled it in, across goal, bottom corner, applauded by his manager Sean Dyche.
Yep, get some life in this game now, hopefully. So Chelsea are going to have to open up, they're going to have to come into... Ooh. The late
checking for a possible offside here, VAR. That call has only just been communicated with us, so the restart's just been delayed. Looking for a possible offside. I'm assuming that's going to be against Calvert-Lewin in the build-up of that through ball.
It can only be Calvert-Lewin. When it went through, I did think it was a great through ball, and all of a sudden Calvert-Lewin was through one-on-one with the keeper, or 50-50ish. He looked offside, no flag was raised, so...
Goal given. Goal stands, Everton 1, Chelsea 0, greeted by a cheer from the home sections of Goodison Park, and a massive, massive punch of the air from Abdoulaye Decore. It's 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Game on here at Goodison Park, which has finally come to life.
It has indeed. So now the supporters and the players got something to hold on to. Songs have started.
More like it. More like the atmosphere that we were expecting coming into this one, with Everton having won their last 2, and at the moment they're on their way to a 3rd. They've not won 3 in a row under Sean Dyche, but looking good for it at the moment. Chelsea have possession inside their own half. Elsewhere, still Luton 1, Manchester City 0 on 5 Live, and Fulham 3, West Ham 0 on the website and the app. Colwell gives it to Enzo Fernandez, who's on the attack for Chelsea down the left. Home supporters loving life now as they look to pull away from the relegation places. Drop back into the zone, given that points deduction. Here come Everton down the right. Ball was misplaced that time as it was played to the right to Decore. He applauds the effort, but Chelsea will settle for a throw-in next to Sean Dyche.
Yep, big question mark now on Chelsea. What can they do? How do they get back in this game? They've looked laboured so far today.
Here they come down the right with Disasi, who's got space to move into as he goes over halfway. Cole Palmer turns, good run, holds up a challenge, gets away from him. It was a good challenge in the end by Garner. Everton will clear. Calvert-Lewin in a race with Badiashile. Calvert-Lewin's going to get penalised there. As soon as Badiashile went to ground, the only thing Michael Oliver was going to do was blow for a Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, he might find himself a little bit more isolated. A few more runs like that between now and the end of the game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and when he does, he has to try and win something for his team.
WSL latest, Liverpool 1, Bristol City 1. Here Chelsea on the attack, looking to get back on level terms. Chelsea have won 1 of their last 4. That was with 10 men last week against Brighton. They've lost their last 2 on the road at Newcastle and at Manchester United. And they're losing here at Goodison Park. Gallagher, ball in field. Cole Palmer to the edge of the area. Broja, that's a foul surely by Branthwaite, and that's going to be a yellow card for the Everton defender too. He caught Broja there. He's gone down holding his left ankle, and this is a free kick to Chelsea to the right of the D, about 19 yards out. Really dangerous position.
Yep, threatening. I'm sure Cole Palmer's got his eyes all over this free kick, so I was just watching the free kick, how it was given away there. Yeah, just a desperate lunge on the edge of the box actually by Braithwaite. He's been so good today.
Didn't look like there was that much contact. It was just an ugly looking lunge.
No, I think I'm guessing off Broja's reaction, hardly any contact, but that means it could have just been his stud flying across his shin, which actually then would have hurt him, in all fairness, rather than actually, if it had been a little bit more and been his boot, it would have been okay.
Well, you called it, Sam, and as you called it, Cole Palmer picked that ball up. Nobody else is having this free kick in this kind of position other than him. It favours the left footer, although Mudryk is standing over it with his right. Give me a minute or two until it's taken. Michael Oliver just making sure the wall's back the full distance. Currently having a long chat with Armando Broja, who was fouled in the build-up. May well be Mudryk too with his right here. He's standing looking meaningful with his hands on his hips. It's either going to be Palmer or Mudryk. Everton leading 1-0 as we approach the hour mark here. Chelsea free kick, 19 yards out. Palmer will take it through the wall and gathered and held really well by Jordan Pickford. It was straight at him, but that came at him with so much power, and he got people waiting to pounce on the rebound. Did really well.
He did. He absorbed the power of the shot well. Levi Colwell followed it in. Anything else more than a safe. Just watching a little bit of play in the middle field there.
Here come Chelsea with Broja. Gallagher does well after poor play initially from Badia Shield. Nearly gave the ball straight to Everton. Chelsea still in this at 1-0. Palmer on the right. It's got Mikalenko and McNeil for company. The 2 Everton players come away with the ball. As you can tell from the cheers. Was that a foul by Palmer? First time wasn't. Second time wasn't. Just a throw in Everton's favour. Things getting a little bit spicy. We've been waiting for this, Sam.
They are. Supporters up for it, players up for it. Now every free kick starting to get cheered again. Obviously still got half an hour to go, but finally we have a bit of an atmosphere here. But real question mark on Chelsea, what they're going to do. They're going to make some substitutions, I would have thought. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sterling, Jackson coming on possibly.
Yeah, both on the bench today, having been rested following the defeat at Old Trafford. Fulham have got a 4th at home to West Ham, so they scored 5 against Forest midweek, and now they've got 4 against West Ham. Harry Wilson on the hour mark at Craven Cottage. Commentary on the website and the app. Everton with a free kick in their left back area to be taken long and high by Pickford downfield, looking for Calvert-Lewin's head. The loose ball falls for Harrison. Can he pick out Calvert-Lewin along the ground? Yes, wide on the left. Now Garner put in a shift in the midfield. Ball played forwards towards Harrison with his back to goal. Garner tees up Onana. They move it sideways. Patterson chipped over the top towards the penalty spot. Not enough height on that. Chelsea with the header clear. Everton look to win it back, do win it back. That wasn't a foul on Mikalenko. It was just an awkward looking lunge for the ball. Here's McNeil in a race with Gallagher, which Gallagher wins, clears it away from the right back area. Cucurella will take over. It's getting spicy, it's getting lively. Everton leading by 1-0 with 61.5 on the clock. And that is a foul that's gone in Chelsea's favour, according to Michael Oliver on the edge of the centre circle.
Today's attendance, 39,002.
Yeah, the goal's given a little bit more energy into Everton. They're starting to get around. They just need to make sure they're not giving too many fouls away, inviting too much pressure on. But I do like the intensity they've got in the game. A bit more front foot, a bit more, like I said, pressure going on, pressing the Chelsea player on the ball, forcing them into longer balls.
Manchester City have equalised over on 5 Live. Bernardo Silva's got it. Luton 1, Manchester City 1 at Kenilworth Road. So game on there, game on here too. With Everton leading Chelsea by 1-0. Harrison heads it forwards, receives the ball back from Calvert-Lewin. A little bit of trouble as he nearly ran out of space second time, Jack Harrison, because Levi Colwell, the first half substitute, was straight at his face. Everton's throw to be taken by Patterson, just along from Sean Dyche, who's just put his hands out either side of him and push them to the ground as if to just say, look, everyone just calm down now, because it's been played at a frantic tempo since Everton scored. And he will just want the sting to be taken back out of this game, you'd think, now, the Everton manager.
Yep, he'd like it to go back to how it was first half, a little bit passive, but it can't. Chelsea can't allow it to be that. I'm hoping we're in for a real good last half an hour of football here.
Dwight McNeil comes over to this near side. He's been given us a free kick, not a throw. Deitch and Pochettino look on. Pochettino very, very frustrated when I spoke to him after the Manchester United game on Wednesday, and looks equally so today. Reaction to come later on 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman from all of our games. 4:30 game, Tottenham against Newcastle, full commentary on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds. Gallagher goes back to his goalkeeper Sanchez, and Chelsea will come again down the left with Colwill, who's looked lively, you have to say, since he came on as a substitute. He's left out of the side today, one of 4 changes made by Pochettino. Now Mudryk, pacey, down the left. Garner tracks back, does well, intercepts, not for the first time. Is there a foul by Garner? No. Patterson comes away with the ball. The work rate from Everton's players has been 10 out of 10. It really has. As Harrison goes long, Calvert-Lewin will give chase down the right in a race with Benoit Badiashile. The defender wins it, goes back to his goalkeeper. 64 played. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Ball with Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea getting ready to make a couple of changes here, correctly called by Sam Ricketts a few moments ago. Nicholas Jackson and Raheem Sterling are going to be sent for, and you have to say Chelsea since the goal haven't looked bad.
No, they're moving the ball, they just don't look threatening at all. They can absorb pressure, they can pass the ball nicely in 2/3 of the pitch, but as soon as they get in the final third, they look a little bit devoid of ideas.
So Jackson and Sterling will be on to maybe bring some fresh ideas during the next break in play. Mudryk's in behind here, into the area left side, pull back, opportunity for Fernandez, who positioned himself poorly. Ball ended up going just behind him, he was stretching for it, couldn't get full control. Everton make the block, and Everton make the clearance too, with Calvert-Lewin and Harrison giving chase. You wonder if one or both of those are going to make way momentarily. We'll wait and see. Here's Enzo Fernandez on the left with Mudryk inside of him, midway inside the Everton half this time. It's a good watch this game now after a pretty dour first 45. Highlights later of all of today's football on Match of the Day 2 on BBC One with Mark Chapman. Cucurella wide on the right. Goes back to Dizazi. Conor Gallagher in field. It's got Moises Caicedo with space to move into. Caicedo just looks up and decides to go sideways again. Gallagher, Cucurella further forwards on the edge of the area. McNeil ahead of him. Here's Cole Palmer, tries the curler over the crossbar, never really got over that one. Tried the speculative effort first time, nearly worked in the first half, certainly didn't here in the second. Everton are going to make a change too. Everton are going to bring on Beto. Double Chelsea change first. So they're going to bring on Raheem Sterling to replace Enzo Fernandez. I mentioned earlier he was on those 4 yellows. And Jackson is going to come on to replace Broja. And we've mentioned a couple of times in the commentary, Broja really disappointing. So keen to see what Jackson can offer now with some fresh ideas.
Yeah, when you get your chance, you need to take it. You need to show something in the game, whether it be work rate, attitude, every time the ball comes into you, a goal threat, something. I just feel he just couldn't, whether he didn't get the service or just couldn't put himself in the game, he just wasn't involved enough. As a Chelsea number 9, you have to be involved more times than not.
Beto coming on for Calvert-Lewin. Good ovation for Calvert-Lewin. Handshake from his manager as he makes his way off the field on this near side. So double change made by Chelsea with Sterling and Jackson coming on for Broja and Fernandez. And Everton changing their main man up top as Beto comes on to replace Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a quarter just over of this game to go. Was that a foul on McNeil by Gallagher? Yes, says Michael Oliver, but Everton have it wide on the right, so he plays the advantage. A good one too. Harrison then stumbles right at the key moment as he looked to play the ball forwards. Chelsea come away with it. Was that a foul? No, says the referee. Mudryk finds Jackson into the area left side. First touch, curls it towards the far corner. Wide off the far corner. Goal kick Everton.
Yeah, first opportunity for Jackson. Everton don't need to get this game stretched. I know they want to go on and try and get that second goal, but they can't stretch the game, leaving pockets for the Chelsea attackers to run into.
Just having a look at what the break in play is for here. Mudryk's just gone down holding his laces.
or tying his laces, and we're just seeing that Manchester City have turned things around at Kenilworth Road. Jack Grealish, back following his suspension, has got it. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. Commentary continues over on 5 Live here on Sports Extra. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. 67.5 minutes of the game have been played. Mauricio Pochettino underneath his black baseball cap down below us, wearing all black, arms folded, hoping that his substitutions, the introduction of Jackson, Sterling in particular, can inject new life into his team. Ball on the edge of the centre circle, guided down by Everton to Patterson, who came on for the injured Ashley Young in the first half, runs out of space with his ball forwards, throw in to Chelsea this time. I mentioned a few moments ago, Sam, that not only have Everton won their last 2, they've kept clean sheets in their last 2, and at the moment looking to keep a third and win a third.
Yep. Big thing for Sean Dyche, clean sheets means they can just nick a goal and then obviously go on to win the game. Just think with Beto coming on, it's going to be a big opportunity for him. He's a quick player, very, very quick, and as this game's going to go on, I'm sure he's going to be chasing balls down the channel, trying to hold ball up, and hopefully it feeds into his best attributes.
Sterling down the right, getting booed for his Liverpool connections, runs out of space, wanted a corner. The decision, as you can tell from the applause of the crowd all around us, is goal kick to Everton. 69 on the clock. They've won just one of their last 8 Sunday away games in the Premier League. Have Chelsea, that was 2-0 at Aston Villa last season, and they're on their way to adding to that total in the wrong way here this afternoon. Losing at Old Trafford midweek, losing at Newcastle in their away game before that. Won just one of their last 4 games, soon to be 5 if the scoreline stays as it is here. Ball in the centre circle, headed forwards by Garner. Header well won for Chelsea by Cucurella. Really did crane his neck to try and get there ahead of the Everton players in front of him. Everton go back to their keeper Pickford, who sweeps the ball to the right. Harrison can't take it first time on his chest. It bounces off, falls for Colwill. Mudryk takes over. That's a foul by Patterson, right in front of Mauricio Pochettino, much to the annoyance of the Everton crowd. Chelsea free kick, and they've been in a hurry with their set pieces and throws anyway, even more so now because time's against them.
Yeah, if Everton keep this energy up, they're going to make it so hard for Chelsea. They have to keep pressing, keep trying to tackle. Don't let don't let Chelsea get into a real rhythm of passing the ball and pin them back in.
Raheem Sterling wide on the right, looking for options, goes back to the halfway line to Disasi, now Badiashile. Mudryk closed down very quickly on this near side by Patterson, who he continues to run at here. Mudryk gets to the final third. That's normally when his moves break down. They certainly have done today and did on Wednesday. Completes the pass this time. Caicedo, even though Chelsea have been forced a little bit back, they switch it from left to right. Disasi forwards to Sterling. 2 on him in a flash in the form of Mikalenko and McNeil. Here's Cucurella. Ball gets away from him, does well to rescue the situation there, Cucurella. But Mikalenko forcing him towards the corner flag, using the full width of the pitch here. Can't really say much at Goodison because there isn't much. Ball goes back to Disasi, runs into the area, plays the 1-2, chance for Disasi. Can Everton scramble the ball behind? Well, referee's seen something in there that he doesn't like and awarded Everton a free kick for a foul on Mikalenko.
Yeah, he's been excellent today, Mikalenko. Got his body in the way there, won the foul. 1v1 just before that with Sterling. Every challenge or every 50-50 he's been in, his individual battles he's won, it's been excellent.
£22 million from Dynamo Kiev last January. Vitaly Mikalenko very much established himself as a popular figure here at Goodison Park, and you can just see why. It's his work rate, it's his pushing forward, it's his tracking back. He's been absolutely everywhere in the 71 minutes that we've played here.
He has indeed. No frills footballer. I think his hairstyle probably sums him up. Shaved head, no messing about. That's Keep it nice and simple.
Keep it simple, get on with it. Long ball forwards by Everton, that was simple, getting on with it. Long ball forwards to the big striker, couldn't quite keep hold of it, came off his head and went through to the opposing goalkeeper. Sometimes football can be simplified quite a lot, a game that's often overcomplicated. Gallagher wide on the right, wearing the armband for Chelsea following Reece James's substitution because of injury earlier on. Here's Disasi for the visitors. Everton 1, Chelsea 0 here on Sports Extra from the BBC. We're also live on BBC Sounds if you're out and about this Sunday afternoon doing your Christmas shopping or whatever. Don't envy you if you are. Tarkowski stops Mudryk in his stride.
Everton come away with the ball, and here they are down the right. The goal scorer Decore has it, closing in on the penalty area. Early ball in towards Beto, just a little bit too much gas on that one, too far ahead of Beto. Has a collision with Cucurella. Referee happy for play to continue, just side to side, nothing really wrong with that. Chelsea come away with the ball though. Cucurella was quickest to his feet. And now the ball's with Benoit Badiashile. We've got 17.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Long ball played forwards towards the run of Jackson, easily read and cut out by the head of James Tarkowski. Patterson will take over under pressure from Mudryk. Will turn the full 360. That's a foul by Mudryk. Everton have a free kick. Mudryk's kicked the ball away. And that is the most pointless, silly yellow card you'll see. No excuse for it. Mauricio Pochettino just looks on as if to say, what are you doing? Quick free kick taken by Everton, carries all the way through to Sanchez.
Yeah, frustration by him. It was a foul, but I think it's frustration for the whole game. He's just been something and nothing.
Mudryk.
Thank you.
Here's Mikalenko in the left back area. Takes no chances with Sterling.
I was surprised he didn't come off, to be honest with you, when Sterling came on. I thought he would be someone to give way. And as soon as he did that, I just looked down to see who else Pochettino had on his bench, and he hasn't really got anyone else on to bring him off.
Those the only players he'd really turned to. Other outfield players, Matson, Gilchrist, Matos, Castledine and Thiago Silva, along with the substitute goalkeeper Petrovic. So not much tried and tested, if any tried and tested ammunition left on his bench now. It's kind of go with what you've got on the pitch. Everton play the ball down the right, easily intercepted by Benoit Badiashile, and now Colwell will play it forwards to Jackson, who gets there ahead of Tarkowski this time. Ball to the right to Sterling. They've got 4 forwards, Chelsea, in this move. Sterling on the edge of the box. Poor cross, really poor cross. Headed away by Branthwaite. Gallagher goes sliding in, wins the ball. Few looks at the referee there, but he did well. He went sliding in, he was off his feet, but he took the ball cleanly there, Conor Gallagher. Just like going sliding in, as we saw last week against Brighton. Through ball tried to reach Nicholas Jackson, put out by Everton, and that's a good long clearance by Onana, looking for the run of Decore. Decore gets there into the area left side on his right foot, shot tame, blocked by Cucurella. Garner goes sliding in, gets there ahead of Palmer. Well played, James Garner into the box. McNeil takes over, he's got Garner in support. Onana on the edge of the D, he's got it now 25 yards out. Onana's ball over the top, a little bit too much on it, but Harrison does really well to stretch out his right leg and keep that ball in play. Good spell this from Everton again. A second and you'd think they'd be home and dry. Wide on the right, Harrison in space, paint boots, left cross, in it goes, and it's headed towards goal. Offside flag's gone up against Beto anyway. It just kind of came off him. It wasn't the cleanest contact he made, but Sanchez had to make the save nonetheless.
Yeah, that was nice for Everton, spending a little bit of time in the opposition's final third, being patient before whipping the ball into the box.
And now down the other end, here come Chelsea in a hurry on the counter. Palmer picks out Sterling, the substitute, wide on the right. Cucurella. Windy afternoon here at Goodison Park. Dull, grey, overhead, floodlights on and beginning to be in full effect as well. Sean Dykes just turns to his bench, tells a couple of his substitutes to go and warm up with 15 minutes of this game still to go. Sterling midway inside the Everton half. Cucurella back to Sterling, into the box right side, tried to pick out Palmer with a low cross. Back with Sterling, Cucurella, left foot shot from the edge of the area. It was a daisy cutter along the ground, but it was easily saved, smothered and held by Jordan Pickford.
Yep, easy save that. Everton are doing well, forcing Chelsea into shots from outside the box.
You still look at Chelsea and think their best chance of getting back into this game despite the changes is Cole Palmer.
You do indeed. Such a talent, like you said earlier, 9 goals already this season. You can see how he's got 9 goals. It's amazing for all the money they've spent. He's the one who stands out head and shoulders above everyone else. No matter Sterling, been amazing over the years, amazing career, but it all comes down to Cole Palmer.
Chelsea on the attack with Mudryk. 5 of those have been in the Premier League and involved in 5 goals and 2 assists in his 8 Premier League starts for Chelsea. Cole Palmer. Everton have given the ball away. Gallagher in the midfield, moves the ball to his right. Here is the aforementioned Palmer, goes wide. Sterling into the area on his left foot, shot, ball balloons up into the air. Will it fall here for Jackson? It's still high, it's not been dealt with yet. Harrison doesn't do a very good job of completing the clearance either. Mudryk knocked off the ball by Decore, the Everton goal scorer. He finds himself a little bit of space.
and then goes back to Harrison, who'll complete the clearance. It's a poor clearance, but it's a heavy first touch by Colwill. That allows Everton to pump it back forwards again, looking for the run of Beto, but Badiashile tidies up and goes back to Sanchez. 13 minutes to go. Elsewhere, Luton 1, Manchester City 2, and it's Fulham 4, West Ham 0. Luton game on 5 Live, Fulham game on the website and the app. Cucurella in field to Sterling. Chelsea in more of a hurry than ever now. Time is very much against them here on Merseyside. Gallagher to the left. Awful pass. Awful. Way too far ahead of Mudryk. I think he's looking at his teammate there, Gallagher, as if to say, are you going to run? But far from being on the same wavelength.
No. Not all on the same page, are they, the Chelsea players? Not a lot of continuity there. Obviously, they've got so many players as well. I know they've got injuries, but they've got so many players. They've not got they need to have a real run again. They're complete opposite of Newcastle, who've played the same team for the past 4 games or so. These are changes, 3, 4, 5 changes nearly every game.
Youngster Lewis Dobbin is getting ready to come on for Everton, who've just lost the ball in the centre circle. Here come Chelsea. Sterling, edge of the area, right side, on his left foot, might fancy a shot, falls for Jackson, snatches at it. Everton need to clear, and they do through Tarkowski, but that was threatening that time from Sterling. It kind of fell to Jackson by accident. Either way, none of them could quite get the shot clear.
He has to do better. It's a great opportunity. First of all, tracking back in, Mylenko got something on. Fell for Jackson. He's just got to turn and swivel. I think, are they checking it, or they're just taking their time taking the throw in? I'm not sure.
I think they're just looking at a potential foul by Mykolenko as he tracked back, but it wasn't. It was fine, and the referee says play can continue. It was really well timed actually by Mykolenko, tracking back facing his own goal just as Sterling was about to put the shot in. Had to time it to perfection and did exactly that. Now here's Cole Palmer, chip ball over the top, cleared away by Everton. Chelsea with a throw. Everton getting ready, as I say, to bring on the man wearing shirt number 61, Lewis Dobbin, who's just receiving some last minute instructions from Steve Stone and the Everton coaching staff. 11 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Chelsea have the ball inside the Everton half with Dizazi. Now Cucurella takes over wide right. The far side as we look at things, the Chelsea right. Palmer, 2 for company, keeps possession. Chelsea trying to get forwards in a hurry and urgently. Everton fans with their team here, looking for a 3rd straight Premier League win for the first time under Sean Dyche. Garner, ball out to the left to McNeil. Ugly coming together between McNeil and Cucurella. Both have stayed down. Chelsea will continue to push forwards in this move. Both players slowly getting to their feet. Sterling to Gallagher. Palmer peels away from 2, keeps it moving as they move from right to left. Colwill looks up, thought about a shot, instead gives it to Mudryk, moves into the box left side on his right foot. Is he going to get a shot away? He is, takes the deflection, goes behind for a corner.
Yep, just running out of legs, Everton, in those wide areas. Harrison and Dwight McNeil. Not sure where young Dobbin plays when he comes home. I'm guessing he's going to play in one of those wide areas, just get a bit more energy out there.
It's well blocked, well defended by Tarkowski. This corner, I make it Everton's or Chelsea's first in the second half, adding to the 5 that they got in the first. Mudryk with an in-swinging corner. Gladys Street end of the ground. Tense moments for Everton here at Goodison Park, leading by a goal to nil. Maatsen is getting ready to come on for Chelsea as well down below us. So both managers going to make another change each after this corner has been taken by Mudryk. In it goes, high towards the back post, headed down, not dealt with, and it was Dizazi who tried to stab it goalwards. It's been cleared, not completely, because it's back on the Chelsea right with Caicedo. Gives it to Palmer, pulls away from his marker Onana. Palmer doesn't really know where he's going, looks one way, then checks, then turns, and then does the same thing again. Eventually picks out man wearing Chelsea armband Gallagher. Sterling is now operating on the left just for the time being. Tense moments here. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. 8.5 to go. Nice 1-2 played with Caicedo and Sterling. Caicedo gets the cross in, dealt with by Patterson. Ball's gone behind for another corner.
Yeah, pressure starting to tell Everton are just sinking in. Beto's got to do better. He sold himself too early, getting played past. Actually, the player's just running past him.
Same as the last one on the left. Mudryk to swing it in. Caused a few problems last time. It was deep towards the back post.
Chelsea with everybody bar Sanchez forwards here as it's swung in, headed away by Everton. Referee seeing something that he doesn't like, foul in there. Everton have a free kick, and all around us here in this main stand, the supporters breathe a sigh of relief.
Yep, they're going to cheer everything now. We've got 82 minutes on the clock, so we're going to get another 8 plus probably what do we normally get, 5-6 minutes now added injury time. Yeah,
a few injuries, couple of different breaks for substitutions as well. Dobbin and Maatsen continue to stand by, and they're not going to come on during this break in play either, because Pickford is going to take the goal kick, hits it long, kind of feels the effects of that a little bit, hurt himself as he took it, hits it long downfield, ball comes straight back at him. Sean Dyche just throwing his arms in the air, trying to get his team pumped up for the final push in this game. The same with the supporters as well. Doesn't want the atmosphere to die down, because that's what they've been thriving off in the second half, the Everton players.
Yep, the Everton players need them now more than ever for the last 10 minutes. They need to push and cheer every block, every tackle.
And what they don't need to do is that. Beto picking the ball up in the midfield, had options ahead of him, in the end hit it long. And Chelsea are going to change their goalkeeper here.
He's coming off Sanchez.
Georgi Petrovic is going to replace Robert Sanchez, who took that knock in the first half. He's not had that much to do in the second, but something's been said, something's been communicated, feels like he can't continue, and Robert Sanchez is going to make way for the final 7 minutes here. Georgi Petrovic is coming on. Also Maatsen getting ready to come on for Chelsea as well, so plenty of changes being made here. Maatsen on for Cucurella, who's leaving the field hobbling.
Yep, a few hobbling off the pitch there. A few more injuries there for Chelsea, not what they need, added to their already very, very long injury list.
How's he going to be feeling now, coming in under the cost, Georgi Petrovic for the final 7 minutes?
The way the game's going, he might not even touch the ball.
Making his Chelsea debut, 6 minutes to play. Dobbin will come on for Everton during the next break in play. Chelsea have it inside the centre circle. Ball is good from Caicedo. Picks out Mudryk to the left with the pullback opportunity here, dealt with just about by Onana, took one touch, adjusted his body, and then his clearance after he's done all the hard work is awful. He's given it straight to Maatsen, the substitute. Ball with Sterling dead centre in the midfield, tries the 1-2, Sterling goes down, Everton will clear. You can kind of see the way it's going to go now for the final 6 minutes. It's Everton back to the walls.
Yeah, final third for Everton, excellent. Back four, holding midfield is excellent. Well, to be honest, as a defensive unit, been excellent. Just when they turn over possession, they work so hard to get it. They just give the ball straight back to Chelsea, and straight away another wave of attack coming.
Palmer comes forwards, inside right, switches it to the left. Mudryk brings it down first time on his chest. Decent touch, takes control. Maatsen takes over, back to Mudryk. Goodison goes eerily silent as Caicedo sends in the cross. It's not really dealt with by Everton. Now Onana goes to the ground, holding his face. That gives Everton a free kick and gives them the opportunity to waste a few more seconds here. And it also gives Sean Dyche the chance to bring on Lewis Dobbin, the youngster, as a substitute on this near side. Is there a way back into this for Chelsea as you see it, Sam Ricketts?
You'd imagine they're going to get so much possession of the ball now and pin them in like they have. The game in the last 10-15 minutes has gradually just become a Chelsea defensively attack. They're looking to have a little bit more down this left-hand side, starting to get in a little bit, crosses coming in, a few cutbacks more than anything, but Everton have been there to block or get his foot in every time so far. So
standing ovation from the Everton supporters for Jack Harrison, who makes way for Lewis Dobbin with 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time. It kind of sounds like you're stating the obvious with someone like Jack Harrison, because we saw it during his time at Leeds. Worker, grafter, you know exactly what you're getting from him game in, game out.
Yeah, and that's why he's got his ovation today, not through any silky skills, just because he has given everything. You see him run forward, run back, have a big puff of his cheeks, and off he go again on another run, and eventually he's just run out of energy today.
Free kick taken by Pickford. You feel like Everton will want to try and work this debutant Chelsea goalkeeper Georgi Petrovic. He's not had to touch the ball yet. If they can test him, they may well find the opportunity to get a second and decisive goal. Don't rule Chelsea out of this one though, the way the game's been going in the last 20. It is still that Decore goal on 54 that separates the two teams. Ball out for an Everton throw on this near side, where all the stewards are just gathering on the edge of the pitch, lying down on the slope on the edge of the playing surface here. Ball on this near side. Caicedo and Onana in a tussle. It looked like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. They both went for the ball. None of them really got it, but somehow Michael Oliver's come to the decision. The free kick's going to go Chelsea's way on the halfway line. They take it quickly and go back to Benoit Badiashile. Remember elsewhere, Manchester City still leading 2-1 at Luton. They were 1 down at half time. It's Fulham 4, West Ham 0. That one's on the BBC Sport website and app, and later on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds, John Murray and Pat Nevin have got a big game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Spurs and Newcastle. Mudryk moves forwards down the left. Good defending by Tarkowski for Everton. Throw in Chelsea right by the corner flag. Desperate times now.
Yep, honestly, Everton's back line, I keep saying it, but they're defending so well their final third as a team. If they can just get that pass away better when they regain possession, I think they'd make their life so much easier. But they do this bit of the game very, very well indeed.
Everton's women 0-0 at West Ham at half-time in the WSL. Here Everton's men leading 1-0 with Benoit Badiashile moving the ball to the right. Sterling, edge of the Everton box, running at Mikolenko. Chelsea work it to Cole Palmer, challenged by Onana. Again, is timed perfectly in a dangerous area. He went to ground, he had to get that right. He does. Everton clear, up towards Beto, who for a big man was knocked off the ball there far too easily by Levar Colwell. Guides it back to goalkeeper Georgi Petrovic, who gets his first touch with his feet, following Robert Sanchez's substitution a few moments ago. Final 90 seconds plus stoppage time. Everton still leading here. Gallagher turns away from 2 Everton players. Sterling, good run down the right, running at Mikolenko. Checks. He's got McNeil for company too. Sends it across towards Jackson, just a little bit too high. Behind it goes. You know the drill by now. It's another Chelsea corner.
Yeah, pressure's beginning to really tell. No great clear-cut chances, some great defending. What can Chelsea do?
The knowledge of knowing how to keep clean sheets helping Everton here. They've kept them in their last 2 wins in their last 2 games. Mudryk, quick corner to the edge of the box. No one's picked up Gallagher. Closed down very quickly by the substitute Dobbin. Everton, was that handball by Gallagher? Michael Oliver's not interested in the calls. Everton aren't that fussed anyway because McNeil's come away with the ball, moves over halfway. Gallagher then recovers, and here comes Chelsea again. Dyche barking his instructions, very animated on the side of the pitch. Palmer to Mudryk on the byline. Ball comes off Mudryk. Really good piece of defending that by the goal scorer Abdoulaye Doucouré. The Gladys Street End responds with a standing ovation, and it's a goal kick to Everton, just what was needed at the right time.
Yeah, again, great defending, great tracking. Chelsea just run out of ideas. They've got general pressure, but not any real clear structure of play or what they're trying to do, where they're trying to get the ball into.
Michael Oliver's just had a quiet word in the ear of Jordan Pickford. I think with stoppage time approaching, he's just said, look, if you're going to think of time wasting, I'm on it. Fulham have got a 5th at home to West Ham. Carlos Vinicius, so 5 goals in consecutive home games for Marco Silva's team. Here, 4th official standing by with the board. That's a foul by Mudryk on Lewis Dobbin. Free kick Everton on the halfway line. Sean Dyche moans at the 4th official, who holds up 7 minutes of additional time on his board. So plenty of football to play yet, Sam Ricketts.
Yep. More than I thought. 7, not quite sure where 7 came from. We had a very slight check on the goal. I can't really think of what too much. A couple of injuries maybe, but nothing to get to 7 minutes, I would have thought.
He looks so irritated and frustrated, Sean Dyche. You know what he's like. He's a character. He lives every moment. He kicks every ball. He's continued to stick in his 2 penneth to the 4th official, Tony Harrington, who, if he's not got a migraine yet, I want to know how. Everton down the left. McNeil settles for the corner. Just their second corner of the second half, but it's come at a good time. The first minute of 7 of stoppage time of being completed, and it's an opportunity again just to tick away the clock, although Michael Oliver's on that. He's just had a word in the ear of James Garner this time. 2-2 Brighton and Leicester late on in that game in the WSL. Still Luton 1, Manchester City 2 in the Premier League. Garner, he's not going to go short with this corner yet. He's going to swing it in, looking for a killer second goal. Garner with the delivery, punched away, only as far as Dobbin! Lewis Dobbin wins the game for Everton with his first senior goal. You could not find a more popular goal scorer at Goodison Park than Lewis Dobbin, scoring for the senior team for the very first time, and he secures Everton's 3rd win in a row. Everton 2, Chelsea 0.
What a great finish from the edge of the box. We were just saying about thinking about whether should have taken a short corner. No, put it in there, try and get the goal that seals the game. They did. The keeper punches it, falls out, edge of the box, left foot, kept it down into the back of the net. Great feeling for the young player.
Oh, look, if you look at the screen in front of you, Sam, just look at the smile. He's punching the air. He's got the biggest grin across his face, and it was a really well taken goal as well. Corner swung in, headed away to the edge of the area, hit it first time with his left foot. It wasn't in the corner, but Petrovic had no chance because it came through a crowd. It was hit firm, it was hit low, and it's won the game. Great strike.
Great strike. Terrible defending by Chelsea. Got no one on the edge of the box, so anything that came out, the shot was coming in. Mikolenko had one earlier. This time Dobbin shows him how to do it.
Came at him quickly, hit it quickly, and Everton have won the game surely. Mudryk over the top towards Jackson. Ball gets away from him. Branthwaite did well. Punches the air at the fourth official, Branthwaite. He wanted the offside flag there. Wasn't arriving. But between Branthwaite and Pickford, they got the situation sorted. 3 wins. And as things stand, 3 clean sheets in a row. The Sean Dyche's team, the perfect response to that points deduction imposed on them a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the supporters are finding their voice again. They can enjoy the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game now. Whereas when that 7 minutes went up, everyone took a deep breath in the stadium. But now they can relax, enjoy it.
Everton 2, Chelsea 0. That should be that. Lewis Dobbin, the substitute, the goal scorer, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And as first goals go, that was a really well taken one. Mudryk just continues to try for Chelsea. I mean, he's tried all day, but the quality just hasn't been there when he's got anywhere near the Everton penalty area. This time Chelsea come down the other side with Sterling, Gallagher, ball out to the right. Chelsea one last push from Nicholas Jackson, making it stick. Ball to the right is a poor one. Mikolenko with the clearance, out for a throw. Big cheer from the home sections of Goodison Park. 3 minutes away from 3 straight wins. What a response this has been by Sean Dyche and his players. Palmer, as Chelsea continue to push for a late goal in this game, but they need to find 2 to get anything. Mauricio Pochettino just standing with his arms folded. Another defeat on the road for his team. 3 in a row after defeats at St James's Park and Old Trafford over the last few weeks. And just listen to Goodison. Chelsea on the attack with Gallagher into the area to the byline. Ball balloons up into the air and Pickford claims it at his near post. Falls onto the ground and smothers it. They know they're home and dry now, the Goodison Park faithful.
Yeah, like I said, they can enjoy it. Actually, the players can enjoy the last few minutes. So listen, they're still going to play, obviously, but it's a big difference having the extra goal advantage. It means they can just not take the but the pressure relieves a little bit. That's what it is. And all of a sudden, a little bit more spring in their step. All of a sudden, the weight of every tackle loses a little bit of importance.
90 seconds of stoppage time to go. Everton 2, Chelsea 0.
If you're Pochettino, you'd be looking at your team, and I think listen, they've got talent, don't get me wrong. They've recruited enough talent. They look like they're lacking a bit of character, a bit of charisma, a bit of, I'm not sure, just when the goal was going, I don't see enough players actually seem that bothered about them conceding another goal, bothered about them losing a game.
Leaders sounds like what you're trying to talk about, Sam, there.
It's just a real lack of heads go down. I don't see anyone really pulling any players around, dictating to each other. It looks like a team of individuals.
This will move Everton 4 points clear of Luton in 18th. Everton will stay 17th, a point behind Nottingham Forest, 3 behind Palace, 6 behind Bournemouth, Wolves, Brentford and Chelsea. Add 10 points back onto Everton and they would be 10th in the table, a point off West Ham. Chelsea with the ball in the centre circle. Everton fans on their feet in full voice. The 7 minutes almost up here. Sean Dyche continues to bark orders to his players like he has done from minute one. In front of the England manager, this game being played today. Gareth Southgate's been sitting just down below us. Chelsea in their own half. Everton fans want the final whistle. What a performance this has been. They've had to graft, they've had to work, they've had to defend well at times as Chelsea pressed. 2 really well taken goals though. The first from Decore and the second from young Lewis Dobbin are going to earn them a big win. Michael Oliver looks at his watch. 97.5 on the clock now. Chelsea have it with Maatsen in the left back area. Final few seconds, but it feels like we could play until tomorrow and Chelsea wouldn't score. There is the final whistle. It's all over at Goodison Park. Everton win and keep a clean sheet for the 3rd Premier League game in a row. The 3rd time they've won in the space of 8 days after 1-0 wins at Forest, 3-0 win against Newcastle. They've beaten Chelsea here by 2-0. Decore with the first on 54, and then a very popular young goal scorer in Lewis Dobbin with the goal to seal the game in stoppage time. What do you make of what you've seen from Everton today, Sam Ricketts?
I think just watching a little bit of afters on the pitch, it was actually probably just going to sum up what I was going to say. The team that actually wanted the game more, the first half was 50-50. The team that wanted to win the game more has gone on and won the game. To emphasise my point with Chelsea, saying a lack of leaders, a lack of real desire to win the game. Nicholas Jackson sat down on the floor at the end of the game. I remember William Gallas doing it years ago with Arsenal. I think it was Arsenal. I just don't like it. I see players who pretend. He's pretending. A couple of players went up to try and shake his hand. He refused to. So I think Patterson just gave him a little nudge, and rightly so. He's been ignorant, he's been rude, and then it sparked a little melee. But the team that wanted to win it, they were devoid, I think, of a lot of energy from their following midweek victory, but they wanted it more and they've ended up with the 3 points.
Yeah, there was a coming together between Nicholas Jackson and Nathan Patterson. It's interesting what you just said there about too little too late. Maybe if a few of the Chelsea players showed that passion more often out on the pitch, they wouldn't currently be sitting 12th in the bottom half of the Premier League table.
That's why we love the game. They've spent $1 billion and they can't be in the top half of the Premier League. It just shows you there's a lot more to football, which Everton are showing here. Heart, passion, desire, which money just doesn't always buy you.
With Everton, we touched on it during the commentary, this has been another performance from a team who, far from having the win knocked out of them by that points deduction, it has given them a new lease of life, it has given them fight, it has brought them together, led by a manager who is guiding his team to a great week of results.
Yeah, I think what Sean Dyche, listen, he's a fantastic manager, he's done very well, but if you look at him, I think he puts grit in his team, and I think that's what this Everton team have got. They've got a bit of grit about them, they've got a bit of heart, a bit of spirit where they will dig in, they will defend, they will put their bodies on the line, and eventually, listen, they're getting their results at the minute. They're fighting, they feel that the club's been united by what's happened off the field. You can see it now, the players going round, the supporters are all still here cheering them. They're united in their fight to stay in the Premier League this season.
Decore and Dobbin at the double for Everton. 3 wins in the space of 18 days. They move 4 clear from the relegation zone. It's ended here at Goodison Park. Everton 2, Chelsea 0.